What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever.
Period.
And in light of keeping it real, we have the realest person of Big Brother 25, Miss America Lopez. America, how are you doing, Queen?
What's up? I'm so excited to be here with y'all. Except you, don't talk to me. No, I'm so excited to be here and talk about, Big Brother with y'all. It is my fave. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
Yes! Thank you so much for being here. We're so excited.
Definitely, especially because honestly, I'm having a good time this season. It's only been 1 week, but I'm loving the cast. I'm loving the gameplay. I'm loving it that everybody's not doing too much. No shade. Last season, y'all was.
It was giving a lot. Y'all stressed me out. Like
they were. I was chilling.
At 7 a.m. At 7 a.m., you and Jag will be clocking Sari in the game structure, and by noon, he'd be ratting you out for the 5th time this week. Like, it was like every damn day, it was a stress. I couldn't do it.
It was a lot. But how are you feeling?
Don't remind me. I'm going to tweet about him. Don't remind me. I'll tweet.
How are you feeling about this season, America, so far?
I was just telling y'all, I'm mad. I hate them. I'm so pissed off. No, because I come out of my season, everyone's like, oh, they suck. That season sucked. I'm like, I really hope this next season is ass. So y'all can be like, oh, we really had it so good with BB25. But nah, they've been shitting on us since day 2, since the beat came on. I was like, are you kidding me? It's so much fun. It usually takes me like a little bit longer to warm up to the cast, right? And I'm usually like really nostalgic with the last season's cast. But I mean, it might be different because I was in it and I don't really, like necessarily feel that sort of attachment to it as a TV product, but they are insane. I mean, and part of it is like none of them really know the show. Even the people that are super fans, I think are just casuals, but like
honestly, yes. I was literally thinking today, I was like, low key, I'm gagging, but is it because they're all recruits? Because no shade, bad gameplay is way more
very entertaining
than good gameplay. And Matt don't know what he's doing. He's hilarious. Angela is hilarious as hell. It's like they're all extremely funny and not playing that good. And no one's like, you know how sometimes there are seasons where someone like picks it up and their coalition and everything. No one is doing that because it's kind of like you said, I think it's giving casual. There might be 2 super fans.
I know Quinn for sure. He's a super fan. Other than Quinn, Joseph.
Yeah,
other than them 2, everyone else is giving casual. No shade.
Yeah, Corey was like, "Oh, Quinn was Joseph is a live feeder." I was like, "I don't know what's giving you that. The fact that he worked at a video store."
I think it's the mustache. Maybe they connected on the mustache.
Yeah, he just like looks like the type. I think maybe Chelsie and Quinn.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm loving the recruits. I wouldn't expect to ever say that, but like. We need recruiters on Big Brother because they don't give a fuck. They are kind of dumb. Like when it's in terms of the game, they have no idea what they're doing. So they're coming in all paranoid, and even the casuals like Angela is just like super paranoid and like really playing really hard because that's what they see on TV, right? And that's all they see.
Right.
But honestly, like I'm thinking about your season as well, and I liked your season because of like Corey, who's a super fan, and you. So it's like I think it's really just about casting because some super fans can be very extremely boring as fuck. But not every super fan has to be boring and lame and a loser. And I feel like if they just make sure they cast good people,
they always cast that one. No, you're sorry for interrupting. You're so right. Good. They always cast that one person. And it's the super fan nerd, and that's the archetype for them. And I'm like other like people watch Big Brother. It's not just like the nerdy, but they want them to look like the nerd too, right? Like they want them to
have the glasses,
all like shorter, skinny, younger. You know, that's usually the type. But I think they really mixed it up this season, and I know they brought in new casting like producers or something like that, right?
The girls were saying Trader's casting department was involved, and girl,
oh my god, can you imagine Angela as a?
Oh my god,
I can't.
I would actually live. I fear.
Are we sure she wasn't on season 1? Are we sure?
I mean,
because Angela has been on
Dr. Phil. America's Got Talent, Price is Right, The Voice. I mean, she's been everywhere. Clearly.
Every day is a new show. Yeah, I'm like, what?
Literally. Okay, y'all.
I'm really interested, America, because it seems like you're still really into Big Brother, and I feel like a lot of people, when they get out of the game, they're like, I don't want shit to do with the season. I'm done with Big Brother. I'm done with it all. I don't want to watch. Why do you think you're still so like interested, even though you've been in the house?
Well, Lee, let me tell you, because most people before going into the show had never seen an episode of Big Brother in their life. It's easy for them to come out and not be attached to it. They don't care. I thought I would feel a little bit differently, not gonna lie. Like, I was like, oh, maybe it's like still too fresh, too much trauma or whatever, right? But I'm glued. I'm watching the feeds to go to bed. Corey's like, can we watch this movie? I'm like, yeah, but let me put one headphone in on this side so I can, like, just in case anything happens.
Right.
So I think it's just I was such a huge fan beforehand. It hasn't been difficult at all, especially with these people. Oh my God. They're
interesting.
They're interesting. Yeah.
Definitely. I always thought, like, I feel like that's how I would be. Like, if I was a super fan and I went in, I would want to get out and I would literally watch my entire season. Like, I would be done. I feel like I would want to get through every episode. I would get through every live feed update because I want to know. So it's always interesting when a player is like, I'm done. And it's so refreshing, honestly, to see you and Corey kind of still be into it. Because it's like, I feel like that's how I would be.
Did you watch past live feeds from your season? Because they don't have that ability for this season. So I'm wondering.
Well, I watched like clips here and there, but they removed the live feeds right after.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to go back. I've seen like YouTube videos here and there. I've read transcripts from stuff. Like Corey has listened to like every single like live feed update. I'm not gonna put myself through that. I don't want to hear people talking shit. Okay, I love the show. But I'm also human, and I'll get my feelings hurt.
Right.
But I've watched my season back up until Corey's eviction.
No, so really?
I am a weak bitch. Like, I'm not all like, like, yeah, I love the show no matter what. I was like, no, I do not want to hear these bitches talking shit about me. Also, like, I know what I did wrong. Like, I'll admit that, like, I blabbed so much and I just talked way too much and told everybody, everything. So I know I was like super sloppy. I don't need to see that back.
Period.
Like
real.
I will eventually, maybe, but right now I'm like I'm still very hard on myself for that stuff. I know there was only so much that I could do just because like competitions were also a huge factor our season. Obviously, like maybe a lot of people wanted to do a certain move, but they couldn't, just have to suck up to the HOH. But yeah, so I watched some of it. I'll listen to some stuff, but
do you feel like production will listen to or like take some of that into account? Like you said, the competitions your season, one person won like, most of them at the end. So because of that, do you feel like, because we saw this first HOH and it was very different. So I'm like, did they take some notes for the first time in forever? Like, wait.
Yeah, production, if you're watching this, you suck. How dare you?
Please.
BB25 was supposed to be the like landmark season.
I was expecting.
Oh my God. I remember I was always expecting like Dan Giesling to be hosting a comp or something. And instead we get like these cardboard cutouts of Pooch and like Cliff, for that one competition. Wow. I was like, are you kidding me? But they do seem more equitable. I remember complaining about it. I haven't seen my eviction, like I said, but I complained about it on stage with Julie. I was like, no, as soon as I saw what competition the veto was for the double eviction that I was out on, I was like, I knew I had no shot to win. And I complained about it to production afterwards. And I don't know.
America game
As you should.
Well, I was just like, oh, like I had no chance. This sucks. And they're like, no, well, we had mental comps for you.
No, it
like,
really is disgusting. They really need to do better. Well, I think
and they switched it around. I mean, this first HOH that Angela won was basically shuffleboard. Like, what?
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, are you
honestly,
kidding me?
Yes.
Me and Felicia were like, shuffleboard, please, shuffleboard.
Okay.
And I remember Felicia got You're real
good.
mad the week that me and Corey were backdoored because Corey made this joke about Felicia hoping that the next HOH would be like 7 coin flips. And Dad went and ratted that out to Felicia. And I was gonna be like, Felicia, me too. Like, I want it to be 7 coin flips. Like, it's not on you. Like, it's just anybody but Jag, please.
Anybody.
It was crazy because it wasn't even just the fact that, oh, the comps, they're all just not easy for everybody. It was more so they were the same competition damn near over and over. And it's like, y'all are playing in my face. Well, not mine. They played in your face, which is horrible.
Like, where's the budget? I said Corey, like maybe.
But no, the gag is I'm thinking to make a simple, put us in a booth for the veto. Like, what happened to the veto where you had to count how many objects were out there? Hello? And then it was supposed to be 20. Throw it back. Throw it back to the easy shit. Girl.
Oh my God, shut up. The hide and go veto. I was looking around the house, looking for my spot. I checked the dining room table because I was like, oh, I'm going to pull like a Polly and put it in there. Nobody's going to know. Nobody's watched a season other than, season 20. They kept talking about Tyler. But I was waiting for for all those comps for shuffleboard. Hello, we talked about it so much. Mm-hmm. Slip and slide. I mean, we're just joking around, but I was like, we already got slip and slide, and Jag and Matt will beat us anyway. We're for it.
We don't need slip and slide.
We didn't need that.
Every mental competition was memory, and I was like, after the first one, I was like, okay, my memory sucks. I'm not gonna do well. And then they did another one, and Bowie came out of nowhere.
When did that happen? I'm like, that really came out of nowhere. I said, okay, Bowie, Miss Miranda.
Please. But no, literally, it's terrible. So let's get into this.
Because it's a lot,
Because it is a lot, but it's actually it's not as lot as it was last season, and it's no shade because y'all was doing everything in the world. But we can definitely get into this season. If you're listening via podcast, I would definitely suggest going to YouTube or whatever. Honestly, wherever you're at, go ahead and go to YouTube. Thank you. Subscribe, like, share. Thank you. Love y'all. Mwah. Now let's get into this season. First, I feel like we can talk about what happened kind of on the premiere, which was the main thing that mattered, which were these twists. We recently got the information on both of these twists, these upgrade powers that we got. So let's talk about these upgrade powers because, first of all, I guess we could start with Makensy. Makensy got America's... she got America's veto, as she should. So yeah, she got America's veto. They basically said America's veto is played at the veto ceremony after it's almost completed, at the end of the veto ceremony, and she can use the veto basically like a regular veto, except America names the replacement nominee. Do y'all like this or do you hate this?
Little does she know I'm against her, Makensy.
I know that's right.
She's probably thinking, yes, I got this power. I'm like, girl, I'm putting up your allies. Like,
I was thinking the same thing. I was literally thinking if she ever, if Matt goes home this week, Kenney would go up. If she ever uses it, I feel like the person who's getting nommed is not someone who she would prefer. So she's just gonna have to be mad about it. No shade. No tea, no shade. But yeah, it's cute.
The crazy thing is just the comparisons to the deep fake HOH. I mean, you have Makensy with America's veto. She has no power other than safety, really. And even her closest ally, like y'all just said, could go up in a place. Whereas Quinn literally gets a damn near coup d'etat, basically.
Literally.
And it's like, what the hell that he can use to spread rumors and all types of shit. Like, I wish, I guess Quinn's was a little bit more simple because I really don't like overpowering twists. So I would hate if Makensy's was more powerful, but I just feel like it's crazy how uneven they are. But thank God Quinn got the deep fake HOH because good Lord, if Makensy had that.
But you know what? I'm not happy. Look, listen, y'all. I like Quinn, but y'all gonna be mad at me. Y'all are gonna be really mad at me.
Here you go.
I just have to say it. I have to say it. It's a rare occasion when there is a player in the house that I can say that I stand and I love, and they're my heart and my soul. No shade, America, love you too. But it's rare. It's only like 2 or 3 other players. And this season, Cedric is creeping up on my stand. And Mr. Quinn has had his name in his mouth one too many times. He only said one thing, but that's the issue. You should have said shit because now I don't want you to have this deep fake HOH. And then Girl, let me get into the plan already because, of course, he has deepfake HOH. He can name, he can take over someone's HOH, have an AI version of them name 2 other nominees, and then he can spread lies and blah, 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 blah. Very OP. How the fuck did they decide which of the 2 we're going to get which is crazy to me. You don't flip a coin on shit like this. This is a game-changing power and a veto. Oh, please.
Literally, it would make more sense if it was the deep fake and the diamond power veto. I would hate both of them, but that would make more sense. Like the fact that it's just a veto that we control.
Literally, who's in the diary room? Like you came up with that in 2 seconds. Like, oh, hello, diamond power veto. Like you know, there's a room full of dudes like being like, what should this twist be? And they made it so like they're so different. So
I feel like it should have just been like America's HOH or something. Like, I don't know. Like, it should have just been something more comparable to where it's like you can take over an HOH and you can put up one of the nominees, or you can put up both of the nominees, but after veto, it's like there's no weakening in it. He can name the replacement as well, and he can put up all 3. There's 3 noms, mind you. He can put up 3 whole people, and then he can name the replacement for those people as well. It's like this is actually insane. A little bit. Like, what the fuck? But hey, we move. So,
like I said, I'm just happy that Quinn got it because if Makensy had that, we would all be praying that she didn't take out our faves. Because I already know the longer Makensy stays in the game, the less chance my faves have. I know she's gonna take out my fave. I already know she's gonna do it. So I'm just prepping myself and just making sure it's not the main fave, T-Core. As long as it's not T-Core, she good.
And you know what's crazy? I feel like the most likely person it is T-Core. I don't want to put that out there, but it's like I think that's what it is.
And that's the week Makensy will say it again.
Like Makensy's op is T-Core, or
I don't know if that's her op.
She may target. I feel like if Makensy is ever going to target a fave, it's going to be T-Core because that's just how it happens. They love going after the girl I love the most.
Literally. So what we recently found out, I just want to talk about it now because Makensy, let's just talk about Makensy first. Makensy told Matt and Leah about her power. And it's weak as fuck, so it doesn't really matter. But she told them. She didn't use it clearly this week, so she clearly she didn't give a damn.
Loki, she should have. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if she should have used it. America, no.
Well, no. They're so delusional, her and Matt. They think they have the votes. They think this barbershop thing is real, even though they've never had a conversation with Rubina or like Brooklyn on their own. Or they had like the most random set of people in that storage room. And I'm like, what makes
you like, lock it in.
Yeah, lock it in. And that's it. They never saw each other again. I'm like, what makes you think that this is real? I just don't understand. And Makensy has gone on, and the only thing I've heard come out of her mouth in the last 3 days is, I'm not with Matt. Yeah, I like him, but we're not together. We're not together. It's like you can only say that so many times. Like people are not.
She's trying to convince herself. That's the issue. She wants to believe it in her heart.
So.
It's okay. He's cute, babe. It's okay. It's okay to have a man.
Claim him before
Everybody needs a man, truly. So I feel like she just needs to accept it and move forward. She's trying so hard not to be in love with him. She's in love, and it's okay. Well, not in love, but in like. Girl, it's fine. But yeah, they ain't doing nothing with that veto, y'all. Please.
I think
now
overall, I guess I don't know. Her using it, I feel like the positive is that Matt going is kind of good for her, only because them together is a bigger threat. But at the same time, Makensy ain't finna. I don't see Makensy going far in this game. I just don't, because she seems just so. She's not a fan of the game, and she's so intense when it comes to like strategy or even social connections. Like she turns people off easily. So I guess dropping Matt would probably be best for her. It's just I just don't know where else she's gonna go. But at least she can save it for herself.
I thought looking at her preseason interviews, I was like, oh, she's top 6 locked in.
Literally.
Like, locked in. She seems so poised and like get together and like really serious Angela energy, right?
Yep.
And I wasn't the biggest like Angela fan, but I was like, oh, like she's gonna make it far enough. She looks athletic. Like that's all you need.
Yep.
No, that's half of what you need on Big Brother. Like, and then I turn on the feeds and I hear her saying like, I'm targeting Angela.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and then I found out Angela's the HOH, and I'm like, oh my god, she is sloppy.
She's
very.
So
very.
I would have used it. She should have used it. I would also be like really paranoid week 1 and not knowing who to trust and stuff. And I think it's a mistake we need, she needs Matt to win this competition. Because I don't know, people have to put up 3 nominees, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to be one of them next week if anybody but her wins that HOH. Because not having Matt around might be good for her game, but people are going to see her like as a floater and sort of alone, and they'll think that it's no blood on their hands if they put her up. So yeah,
that's true.
And doesn't it only last 4 weeks? Hers only lasts 4 weeks as well, right?
Yeah.
She should. I think she should have used it, especially considering that, because if, like, let's say next week she uses it on herself, she could just go home the week after that, because now it's like, oh, you had a power this whole time, you were very powerful, and it's like, if she would have used it on Matt and Matt was still here, it increases her chances of one of them winning a comp. Also, it increases her chances of not going home, because he has to, well, not has to, but it's likely he will go home before her or something like that. So it extends her time in the house. And I feel like not using it is like, first of all, like you said, America, her reasoning was because she thinks she has the votes. So if that was your reason, already a no. Immediately no. So yeah.
I remember Jack going around week 2 like, we have the votes about Riley. And I'm like, no, we don't. We have the votes. 30 minutes before eviction.
He was like, let's just all get in a room and
stop it.
All get in the room immediately is crazy. He tried it though. I love a person who's gonna try. That is why I do kind of like Makensy and Matt. I don't hate them because they're at least doing something. Yeah, no shade. I hate to say it, but some of y'all faves, I'm like, where are they? In the cloud.
Who's the Facebook
right.
I heard Kenny's at the top of that.
Girl. I was like, the man who's literally for the quit for that
please
is at the highest. Is just your favorite player of the season. Okay, girl.
I'm gonna have to drag him later because it's a big no for Kenney. Absolutely not. I hate him truly with my soul. Truly. So yes, Makensy told those 2 people. Quinn told Angela while he made his like final 2 with her. Didn't understand that decision, no shade. And then he told Kimo as well. And so I think he's trying to build relationships with both of these people, of course. So he ended up telling them, of course. I think he is a fan, but I don't know how I feel about him telling these particular people, because honestly, they feel random. I wish it felt like it made more sense to tell them. It kind of feels like he should have probably been telling either someone in the Pentagon or like Leah. Telling Kimo and Angela, it's like, you just gonna tell everybody, aren't you? Because who the fuck are these people for you to tell? No shade.
Not only did he tell Kimo, he told Kimo what he was gonna do.
Yeah, the whole plan.
The whole plan laid it out. Oh, if I win HOH, I'm using it anyways, so I can do that. Like, what?
Which is a shitty ass plan.
Why?
Hate the plan.
I was like, maybe it's kind of smart.
Lee, what's smart about it? Lee, what's smart about it? And then I'm gonna drag the entire plan.
No, okay, no. I don't think it's that smart anymore. I've thought about it, but when he first was saying it, I was like, I was hearing him out because he was saying he wants to use it so he can throw blame off of him. He was like, if I use it, I don't want people to know it's me, and then I become a target. He basically wants to stay good with everybody because Quinn right now damn near has a relationship with everyone in the game. So I think his thought process is, instead of having to win and nominate 3 people, which he could make an enemy because he's working with everyone, he might as well just hijack his own HOH. That way no one will know. It's like the secret HOH, you know? But I also see the reasoning of you shouldn't waste the power on your own week when you could just use it on another week. Like, you can take out 2 people with your own HOH and the deep fake. But I'm just saying, I saw the visual for a second. I did. Yeah. I saw it.
Yeah.
I love Messy. I love Messy. I was down honestly, with it. I'm like, if it's week 4, yes, do it. Go. If it's the week 4 of the power and you're not going to get it the next week, go for it. Do it. Also, I love messy, like squirrely gameplay like that. I'm for it. Do not tell Kimo, the most random person in the entire house who hasn't talked game with like anyone. It did feel random. Angela, I can sort of give him a pass for. She's HOH. She wants to build trust with her. Kimo, and I love Kimo, but come on, Quinn.
Girl.
It just never made sense.
I want to love Kimo, but Kimo been.
We gonna get it. We gonna get it to Kimo ass too because
it's all these have-nots. It's all these have-nots.
That's
Girl.
because he's stressed out. Well, I'm gonna need him to pick it up because if he's doing the same shit in week 2, Kimo, it's gonna be a problem.
It's gonna be a big problem, baby. Now, let me get into this motherfucking plan real quick because the plan is, like y'all said, he wants to win his own HOH. He said, if next week I win HOH, I will use the power on my own week. First of all, why? Like you said, you can take 2 shots. Already dumb to me. Don't understand it. Second of all, Second of all, if you win the second HOH, that is the best time to win an HOH if you don't want to get blood, because you can build relationships and have people know, oh my God, he won HOH and didn't put me up. Plus, you have options. If you don't win it now, what are you never going to win HOH the entire season and just keep blood off your hands forever? No, win it now. Use your HOH to take out a target, and now everyone in the Pentagon is like, fuck it, the Pentagon is solid. Everyone in the collective is like, fuck it, the collective is solid because you didn't put none of them up. And then you have fucking options. No one likes Kenney. No one likes Makensy. He has options. Tucker isn't in no one's alliance, and no one likes Lisa. You have 3 whole options and a renom right there in your face. This is the 1 week you're going to have that option. And then you're not going to take it because you want to use the thing on your own HOH. And then who are you going to put up? Because I'm thinking, oh, he said he's going to make a big move. But in reality, are you going to make what's the big move? Your only alliance?
Your man, Cedric. Your man,
which is dumb as fuck. That's his only alliance. You don't have anything. That's why I'm like, there's no big move at this moment. It's just a bunch of random people. No one has allies. You have to build alliances. And then if you are going to take the shot with your power, how are you going to convince them to evict who you want to evict when you're supposed to be pretending it's not your power? That's not easy as well. And if you could convince them to evict who you wanted to evict, then you didn't have to use your power. You would have been able to convince them with your regular HOH. I have to get in his ass.
Like
super fan where?
He's still a super fan. Don't do. I think also this just opens up a conversation on him as a player in this game. I feel like with him kind of wanting to go this route, it makes me feel like maybe he's going to be a passive player. He may not want to make the big move when it comes down to it. And that will eventually become a problem. Like, you can't just not win HOH. You have to win HOH at some point to build a resume. You have to nominate people. You know, people who come into this game and try to make friends with every single person, it usually doesn't work out because you have to turn on them at some point. Or kind of like what you're saying, like, if he wants to do these moves behind the shadows, he's not really building influence. So when it comes to like needing to push something later in the season, he probably won't be able to do it because he's not building that rapport. So I feel like, yeah, that's definitely, it's a big issue. It's a big issue for sure. But
I'm hoping he was joking.
Fan card.
I'm hoping he was joking. Maybe he doesn't have like his number one. So he's just rambling and, you know, spitting out ideas to Kimo. Because it's
maybe it was random. I'm hoping for the best.
It's no shame.
So boom.
I love him though.
I love it, and I really like him too. Girl, I actually like literally everyone. Well,
yeah,
not 2 people.
I mean, like, wait a minute.
I feel like as far as everyone in the house, like as a full season, I love everybody.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, you know, America, you know, some people on your season, girl. Whew. Every season though, it's like it's a few people. It's like, girl, you didn't have to get casted. We didn't need you here.
We didn't need you
season. Like, I was the main one saying we didn't need any recruits, but like this season, like I really enjoy everyone. I still feel like it needs to be a nice balance, like maybe a 50% recruit, like they do the POC, just 50%. Because we don't need. I just like the abundance. However, if the season's gonna give like this, it's like I can't say too much because they're really serving it up. So it's like I just gotta eat my words a little bit.
Yeah. So after this, of course, Ainsley revealed the AI arena twitch, which is just the 3 noms have to play a comp. The one who wins isn't going to be nominated anymore. There'll be 2 noms at the end of the week. Boom. Next. After this, they play HOH. We talked about it a little bit. Shuffleboard was T. And it wasn't just shuffleboard. It was a whole gag. There's going to be different rules each round and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, wait, bitch, what? But it wasn't really. It was really just shuffleboard. But hey, you tricked me. You got me. You got me happy. So that was fun. I really liked the first part of that comp though, where they were like, you have to test your social game, so quickly get into groups of 3s. That was cute. I don't know. I really liked it.
That was so
I like
fun.
that. All the social strategy, like incorporating social strategy into HOH competitions. I feel like I saw that in Big Brother Canada last season. I hadn't seen another BB Can season. This was the first one I watched. And I was like, oh, like, and the last, yeah, sorry. But I was like, oh, I like how they do this. They had like the safety chain that they did.
Yes.
And stuff like that. So I think that's so fun, especially this early on in the game when everybody's like really paranoid and they don't really trust each other like that. I thought they were gonna do that every round. Like after the first round, I was like, oh, they're gonna pick individually, like picking each other off and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope we see more of that. That's exciting.
Mhm.
Can't wait for Tucker to single Lisa out and be like, you out.
No, literally. And you know what? It reminds me because we actually have our BB Rewind series that everyone should go check out, where we go back and we watch old seasons. And when we watched Big Brother 2 and Big Brother 3, they used to make the first HOH that. It's literally vote based off first impressions who you want to be HOH. And it's like, that was the most interesting part of this comp, which was that first round where Makensy and Tucker are just walking around looking dumb because they because they didn't pick anyone. But it's interesting because it's like, wow, you just have to randomly quickly socialize and make someone want to vote.
Grab someone.
Yeah.
And Makensy goes, oh, I wanted to work with the strong players.
Oh, please.
I'm like, this is the first competition. What do you mean strong players?
Grab somebody.
Was Matt not near you? Like, she didn't have a chance to grab him.
Don't talk her tea like that, America.
Please don't talk her tea. But no,
I totally forgot. That's how they used to pick HOH. Season 10 too. That's how Jerry won.
Yes.
They voted him.
And it's like that's so perfect. Like, especially with this comp, you see that the top two is literally the two oldest house guests of the season. Yeah. And Angela ends up winning. I mean, like, it sucks that we expect these archetypes and people to not even have a chance because they never had a chance. Like, no one would have expected that Angela was the first HOH. And it just completely changed the entire trajectory of this entire season because she's the most cracked HOH in the history of Big Brother. And it's perfect for this season. But it's just like, we would have never experienced that, And then, like, even with Lisa winning the power of veto, Lisa is a character who goes home first, goes home maybe second. Yep. People deem her as one of the worst players to ever touch foot in the house. And she just won a veto. You know how many people
the first
veto is a pretty iconic win. Like, some big names win that first veto. And she won it. So it's just like, if you take these archetypes and give them a chance to be able to win competitions, it completely changes the game because they're respected in the house. I feel like, you're only respected as much as you can kind of give in the game. And a lot of the time that is competition wins. So if everyone is able to win the same amount of competitions, it really just switches everything up.
Mm-hmm. And they said,
game.
Yeah, literally and that's what it should be. And it's funny because they said the statistic was like, since Big Brother 8, there hasn't been a time that a woman won HOH and vetoed the first week. And it's like, crazy. Big Brother 8, bitch, I was 1 year old. Like, that's insane. Like that's crazy.
The 3 guys. I also saw that statistic with like, and put those 2 things combined, and also the nominees being all men.
It's
never been all men week 1, and it's like, that's insane. There's been 25 seasons, and there's never been a all male nomination week 1. Huh?
Yeah.
What? And I went back. I was like, okay, but Jay's BB17, and I looked, and he was sitting next to Jackie. I'm like, they just put up random women next to them too. Like, what the fuck? You could have just put up. Jace was best friends with Austin week 1, and you didn't put them up, or maybe they did, and he won veto. But still, like, just stupid, just silly. But finally, we're here. And this is the first time there's been 3 nominees, and all 3 are men. Because every time there's been 3, there's always been a woman on the block, and it's like, God.
It's the veto competition will be like sprint or like hurdles.
Run
up pairs and hang glides.
Literally what? Hang from a rope. Yeah, please.
I'm excited because I said preseason that I feel like this is gonna be, I don't know, just a different and good season. And so far, like, with the competition changing already, I feel that. I hope they keep this up. I don't want them to do a wall comp. I don't want them to hang from shit. Keep them on their ground, and they better bring back pressure cooker. That's all.
Look, I have beef with the wall because we think as the wall as iconic.
Yep.
It's not. It's dumb. It's only getting shorter every season, right? I don't know if they make it harder or what, but like, I want an endurance competition that lasts all night. And it's about like who wants it most, not who has the most upper body strength. Because it's always going to be the person that you expect, right? Yep. We're at the wall comp. We're like, okay, Felicia and Suri are out, right? Like, they have no shot at winning this. We did the invisible HOH, which is like a cool twist, but then you have the HOH and the veto both be physical competitions.
Yeah, like
dumb.
Like what?
So and they always say, who wants it most? Baby, I'm not athletic. I
I was literally
My
finna
body
just
do
say
not
that.
want
Like,
it that
what?
bad. My body is not gonna stay up for mama. It's not.
At all. And like with Canada and Big Brother Canada, there is this competition they have, this HOH. It's called Buzzkilled, and basically it's like they're all standing there all night outside, and there's a button in front of them, and every time the timer goes off, you have to click the button fast enough, and then the last person not to click, they're out. So it's like shit like that, where it's actually all you gotta do is press the fucking button. And it's like that's why Pressure Cooker was interesting. That's why that comp would be interesting, and it's actually endurance, because hanging on a wall isn't endurance, bitch. That's physical. Okay,
no, I'm telling y'all,
you're putting words on shit that's not true.
Literally.
As a viewer, it doesn't look hard. That shit is hard. Like it is. The moment I like just standing there, it hadn't even leaned yet. I was like, my arms are hurting. Like I cannot do this. It leaned a little bit, and I was like, I'm falling first. Like there was no doubt in my mind I was falling first. And the fact that like Felicia and Suri, I commend them so much. They're so strong, because I'm telling y'all, like that shit hurt from the get-go, from the first lean. And then they did it even further, and it literally feels like you're like 80 degrees.
Wow.
Like this way. When it, like watching it back, I'm like, oh, we're like 30 degrees maybe. But it feels like it feels so much harder. Get rid of that.
That's crazy. It's funny because I'm always like, I could win that. Like, why are they struggling? And it's like,
that's what I thought. And Heisen was hyping me up. Like, he's like, oh, America, my endurance queen.
Girl, we thought she was gonna win. We literally thought, we were like, okay, America's so short, her small, her body weight. She's gonna eat that up.
Bitch, I did too. I was like, it's me or Mimi. We got this.
Right.
Literally. We're standing there next to each other. Like, this is meant to be. It's going to be final 2 again, like we were in the pressure cooker. And it was so...
And then Jared won. What?
Fucking Bowie James.
We was all confused.
He let go. He threw that shit. How dare she? But, yeah.
Okay, boom. So Angela is our HOH crack queen, honestly. But she wasn't cracked at first. At first, it was kind of normal. When it came to the nomination, she was kind of normal. It's crazy. But she was trying to think of nominations, and she did her little 101s. She was like, look, the consensus is Kenney and Lisa, and Kimo's gonna be my pawn. So those were the nominations she decided on. But what's funny is in the episode, we saw this Matt situation. And I think we should get into the Angela versus Matt, because baby, that's this week.
What side are you on? What side are you on? Because I saw that and I was like, she made it sound like he was up there huffing and puffing in her face. But like, did you see it? Because he says like, he's talking about hypotheticals. He's saying like, oh, when you told me this, I thought like, am I going to go down this route? Should I say this? Should I say that?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't think he was actually like, she took it as like a personal threat.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, he was talking about like, his scenarios in his head, like how he should react to her calling him out for the showmance or for his looks or whatever. I think she is just not used to, going to bed past like 11. And she hasn't really slept. I'm sure it's a lot of pressure being the first HOH. We see them crack a lot. But I don't think it was that bad, and I'm not a Matt stan, but honestly, I think she exaggerated.
I mean, calling him aggressive and that he just...
She said, you're scaring me right now. Girl, what? I hate when a bitch is scared. Be real.
I will say, I'm surprised. I've seen a lot of tweets and stuff. Nobody has called Angela a Karen. But like that was the vibe.
That was giving Karen.
Definitely giving Karen energy real bad.
And I will say, like, if Matt was talking to me like that, and then I see later on he kind of presses Joseph as well. Yeah. And he's talking to Joseph, and he's like, honestly, what you did was fucked up. And Joseph's like, what you talking about? He was like, you knew exactly what you did because you did that. And he said, if you do anything else like that again outside of this game, it's never gonna give that we're cool. And it's like, hold the fuck on. Yeah, and then different. And what he said, that is different. But what he said with Angela, it was like, she was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I did judge you, da da da. And he was like, yeah, because if you would have put me up, I don't even think I would have went home and da 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 da. Very much more simple.
Yeah.
But if I was Angela, I probably would have lied a little bit too if I wanted him to go home. Like if she was lying on purpose, that would be one thing. But it seems like she was genuinely believing
her delusions
that he was aggressive towards her.
That's her main issue throughout this entire week. Is like she basically believes anything that pops into her head, and that's the main thing. Like I think that Matt could have chosen his words a little bit better, and we've seen that Matt isn't necessarily the best socially, but Angela is not manageable at all. The woman,
he could have said anything.
When we turned on the feeds, her closest ally was Joseph. She then ran through Quinn, and now it's Tucker. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy.
Did you see her? Did you see her this morning? Like Tucker talked to her like first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
He leaves the HOH bathroom and she's like, I can't trust him.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like,
you're running out of people. You're running out of allies.
Literally.
Just know that I know what's going on.
Yeah.
No, you don't, Angela.
Girl.
You don't.
Mind you, don't.
That's why I just think that's what the disconnect is. Like Angela, she's cracked. I mean, she literally considered putting up T-Core for a whole day, and she was under the impression that T-Core somehow volunteered, but she never had the conversation with her about her volunteering. The woman is gone. And I'm happy that her HOH reign is almost over with because, good Lord.
Me too. I think she needs
to
it.
Go into that level of like, okay, girl, this isn't fun anymore.
We needed this. But did y'all see that one tweet that's like, Angela has somehow managed to like win first HOH, divide the house, and not be on either side?
Literally, though. Like, girl.
It's the reverse Tyler.
Literally though, it's honestly it's crazy, but she is falling to this curse of the first HOH because, bitch, all of these seasons, that first HOH, you're going to fail. You are going to go home next. Damn. Didn't they all go home next? Frenchie did.
Yeah,
Riley did.
Riley did week 2. Daniel made it to week 3. I don't know how that happened.
Girl, who? So they all went home week 2. Angela, your time's up. No, I'm playing.
Why you're not clocking out?
No, you're right. You're right. Like it's gonna be so easy for her to be up on the block, especially with the nominees. Like, come on.
I'm nominating her real quick.
I'm nominating her too.
Now with the equitable comp, why she win veto?
and I think I don't know what the issue is. I can't. It's crazy because it's like, what are the chances that all 4 of these HOHs are just terrible cracked players and they ended up winning the first HOH? I'm like, it has to be the amount of pressure because Angela's damn near going.
I do think it's the person because because I feel like Riley was the least like the other 4.
Okay. I feel like talk about how she had like the easiest HOH and she cracked too.
Yeah,
so and that's the issue, girl. All you had to do was maybe somebody out. You're helping someone, Queen.
I can't tell because I feel like Frenchie, Daniel, Angela, they're kind of cracked in real life as well. There's no shade.
Yeah.
Okay, that is true.
So I feel like it's kind of the person, but Riley doing it makes me feel like maybe it is just the actual position
the situation. Because you're already everyone's super stressed out. Well, girl, I don't know. America? Thoughts? Everyone's like super stressed out first week.
I'm looking. No, we are. I mean, it made it so much easier though, as someone that wasn't up on the block initially.
Right.
Like being able to lay back and not play as hard, which is, I think, why when comparing like my season and this season, like everyone's so active from the get-go. Whereas like last season, it was easier for, anybody but those 4 nominees to not play as hard because you're not competing to be taken off, of course there was the veto and stuff, but that didn't really play a factor. But I'm looking at every single one of these players and I'm like, I think they all would have cracked the same.
Honestly,
a single person, maybe T-Core, maybe Cam, he seems pretty chill and level-headed, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh no, everyone else would have, gone,
a little,
crazy.
I do agree.
I see Brooklyn coming down the stairs, just slow clapping. I can see Kimo doing the same thing.
Scary though, because then it's like, girl, don't win the first HOH. Actually,
because I mean, the idea was maybe you should, but now it's getting to the point where like, girl, maybe you can't. And then I saw Joy in the box said someone pointed out that it's because the HOH used to be longer, and that's true as well. When they used to move in early, we've said this before that they would stay there for 2 full weeks. Yeah. And the feeds will come on a week into the game, and they've already solidified everything. Now you go in, you have 8 days max to nominate, make an alliance, and get someone out. So I can see how everything's going so fast. Maybe you trip up, but it's just like the fact that every single season since the new era, they have flopped out. Like, girl.
I'll tell you what, I don't want the first HOH. Truly, because I will go insane. I will. I'll have to nom all of you. Everyone's
all of
against
them.
me because I really get. I think I genuinely get it, and then, but I think it's about assessing the type of person you are. I am paranoid. I will go crazy. So obviously, I don't need the first HOH. I need to just be a regular citizen because if I'm the first HOH, girl, shots are getting fired. I'm going off on Matt.
Oh my
But the
god.
wine, but the seltzers, the
Girl, like
Girl, don't get in that house acting stupid like that, because
Lee, I'm telling you right now. But the smart
dragging you.
The smart thing I would do is intentionally not win it because I know my limits. I know I don't need it. I win the second one, and then with my power, use it to take over my own HOH, and then
Shut up.
No, I mean the first HOH is the easiest to throw to because it's like there's so many choices. The odds of you going up on the block, it's just like just be chill, just don't go crazy, and you won't be a nominee. So I get that.
Ooh.
Unless you're dealing with
Let me not get on that show.
She assumes that you volunteered for some reason, even though you never said anything to her.
Thankfully, I love her, and I'm like, girl, they're all plotting against you right now.
Yes.
Run,
literally
mama.
as we speak.
Okay, in danger, girl.
So boom. That is where we were at. We were at the nomination. She initially nominated Lisa, Kenney, Kimo. Of course, she had that argument. Boom. Let's talk about the alliances that were forming kind of throughout this week because it was a lot and it was a little and it was nothing and it was all of it at the same time. So I'm gonna pull that up. Boom. Kind of the structure we have. If you're visually looking on YouTube, take it with a big ass grain of salt. Actually, get the whole container of salt. A big container of salt, iodized. And or whatever, and literally hold it while you're looking at this because this is not true. All of this is a lie. But hypothetically,
it's all fake.
Allegedly, I would say we're gonna go from the most real to the least real. I feel because the most real thing is really the core, which is Cam, Chelsie, and Cedric. Cam, Chelsie, and Cedric are in all of these alliances we're going to talk about for the most part. And they are all three working together cohesively to kind of create all of these alliances or be a big part of it. Those are kind of the main three who I feel like are locked in when it comes to actually solidifying or attempting to or whatever it is. I got my eye on them. Honestly, it's a yes for me. America, what's that face? What you rocking with it or you not rocking?
I love them. I love them.
Okay, boom.
I love Chelsie and Cedric in particular. I feel like Cam's more. They sort of recruited him into it, and he's pretty new to the game, so he doesn't really. But I see Chelsie and Cedric in that rock room like all the time late at night, just like whispering to each other, and I'm like turning up the volume. Like, what are they talking about? What are they plotting? And I'm surprised that nobody has caught on. I will say, I mean, we're day 7, 8 right now. Yeah. Nobody has spilled anything. Like you said, we mentioned earlier, like Angela knows about the power. Leah and Makensy or Leah and Matt know about Mackenzie's power. Nobody has spilled, and Kimo knows. Nobody has spilled. Also, all these alliances forming, and nobody has really talked about them like that. It's different. I'm like, okay, they're. This is good. We'll see where this goes, but I like them. I like Cedric and Chelsie and Cam. I think they're a good trio, and I think they're a strong trio, especially because everybody else just seems to be like pretty clueless. As to what's going on. They are.
It's no shade, but I mean, I think Cam, Chelsie, and Cedric are definitely going to make it far. Like, I can see them locked for jury at least. Hopefully, it's a 9-person jury this time, so I don't have to pray for my faves a little bit longer. But you know, I definitely see them getting it far because they seem loyal to each other, and like you said earlier, they're in every single alliance, and no one really has them clocked. Like Chelsie, Cedric, and Cam's social game really spreads throughout the house. I feel like I wish I saw more collaboration within them a little bit more because I feel they are the core, but it also seems like all of them are kind of doing their own thing. But maybe that's just part of it, you know? It's kind of like, you know, a low key thing. But if they stick together and keep their loyalty, I think they're going to be in the end game. It's specifically, like, honestly, all of the Pentagon, because it extends to Brooklyn and Quinn completing the entire group. And, you know, I think Chelsie is sort of in the core of that, or at least all three of them, you know, and I think they're all really protected by that. And I don't think anyone's really going to catch that unless they start doing too much. Maybe Quinn. And I think that's where it's going to get interesting, because if Quinn, I think the big move he's referencing, it should be Cedric or Cam, in my opinion. Because who are you going to take out with that, girl? Yeah. Makensy, Lindsay, like Tucker, like who are we going to take out with that? Kenney? Like it has to be Cedric, Chelsie, or Cam. So that's going to be interesting in the next few weeks. And honestly, he needs to. If Quinn goes to the end, I think with Cedric, Chelsie, and Cam, Quinn is definitely losing.
No shot.
I agree. But
she's playing hard. She's playing a good game. I saw her talking to like Angela this morning and just reassuring her and making her feel good. And I'm like, oh my God, she's like so genuine and makes you feel like she is with you.
Yes.
So we know she doesn't care about Angela. But I think she's doing really well.
Yeah. She is.
She does a little bit all over the place. And I think he would get caught the earliest just because his energy is really high and he's like
clock is man America
all over. But I thought he was going to be way more chaotic from the preseason interview. So I'm like surprised by him, like in a good way. I'm into it. You don't see a lot of 21-year-olds playing a good game.
Yeah, I thought Cedric was going to be less game focused. Honestly, I kind of thought he was going to be more, a little bit more like, well, maybe not Tucker, but I just thought he was going to be more like, I'm trying to cause chaos a little bit and stuff like that, instead of actually trying to make a game. He's really about, we're going to be loyal. The Pentagon is the real group. We're going to tell Brooklyn about the collective. We're telling Quinn about the barbershop. Fuck all of that lies. We're going to be loyal. We're going to rock to the end. And shit, I might take the winner to the end with me and lose, like Cody. He's very much so on. I'm literally like, why do you say that? But he's very loyal, but he's also, what I like about him versus other kind of people who do that is like, he's actually going to play the game. Some people are like, I'm loyal and I'm just going to be in the alliance. But he's like, I'm loyal and I'm going to make the alliance. And I'm going to make another alliance. And I'm not loyal to them, but I'm loyal to mine. So I prefer that over with some of the other guys.
I really enjoy that. I thought he was going to go in and just be, this loyal guy. Like, honestly, genuinely, I said this off the podcast. I was like, every single person has done a full 180 in my mind. Like, I've gone up on every single player except Kenney and Kimo. Those are the only two. I feel like they're not giving me anything. They're not giving me anything. Kenney wants to quit, and Kimo is talking to the same three people. And then, like, even today, he brought up for the 15th time, do y'all think I have the votes? Go talk to him. He only talks to Rubina, T-Core, or Lisa, and he don't even like Lisa. And I guess he talked to the Quinn and Angela more, but it's like, I just wish he was a little bit more involved. That's my only thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it to Kimo ass.
No.
So the Pentagon is kind of the most connected real thing for the most part. Quinn and Brooklyn are actually a little loyal to it as well. Then we have kind of these fake alliances because there's the collective that was created with Angela. That was kind of what Angela was starting to form. And then they ended up forming the collective with Cam, Chelsie, Cedric, Quinn, T-Core, Joseph, Angela, and Kimo. That's not a real alliance, but I will say T-Core, Joseph, and Kimo, they kind of talk to each other often. And Angela, like it's not a real alliance because none of them are really super loyal to it and it isn't really solidified. But a lot of these people are talking a lot and in cohesion, specifically T-Core and Kimo. And now they are talking a lot to Joseph and Angela. So it's like, it's kind of loosely relevant. And then similar to the barbershop, it's kind of like the other people are kind of loosely talking to each other. The barbershop is Cedric, Cam, Chelsie. And then Brooklyn, Makensy, Leah, Matt, and Rubina. And Makensy, Leah, and Matt have a final three of their own. So they definitely are actually in cahoots. Rubina, girl, they just put her in the room. She was in the room at the time. No,
she's so short. Maybe they didn't notice she was there.
No shade. But yeah, these alliances are fake. But I mean, relevant because I think if Makensy, Matt, or Leah, maybe even Leah win an HOH, it's likely they'll target like a T-Core or a Pawn or Kimo.
And Cedric and Chelsie and Cam will like buddy up, like, okay, the barbershop is real now.
And then it'll be real if they win the HOH. And then if the collective wins the collective will be real. So it's like, I do think it's important to note these, even though they're not real, because if one wins HOH, it's suddenly real. And suddenly it's the collective. And suddenly, we're rocking together. Remember? Put up Makensy and Matt, not me. Yep. Remember? So, yeah.
I think that's what's so interesting is that I feel like a lot of these people are playing kind of like that floater type of strategy where they're keeping their connections around with everyone in the game. So it's going to be interesting, like who's actually going to win HOH and make a move. You know what I mean? There's only a few people who I feel like can kind of do that. And it's like, I guess like Lisa, Makensy a little bit, but like
Tucker will.
Tucker definitely would do
Tucker's
what
just fine.
Tucker gonna do what the fuck he want. That and Tucker hilarious.
He knows his 3.
Honestly, the people not in alliances are like the most people who can win HOH because they don't have any connections. Tucker, Lisa, and Kenney aren't in any of these groups, and any of them could win HOH and probably do whatever the fuck they want because no one really likes them. Or, well, people like Tucker, but no one really likes Lisa, no one really likes Kenney. So it's like they don't have ties. They don't have a lot of bonds. So I feel like for them 3, they could definitely win HOH and kind of do what they want. The people who are just in the collective, they have the free reign to kind of nom the people just in the barbershop and vice versa because they don't necessarily connect with each other. It's all the people kind of in the Pentagon, really, where it's like, girl, what you gonna do? because you're working with everyone and a named alliance or a fake named alliance, but still. So it's like, I think the Pentagon are going to be the hardest ones to win in HOH. But even if they knew, Nom, Tucker, Lisa, and Kenney, they're not in any of your groups. 3 noms right there. If you have to renom, oops, Angela, sorry. Bye.
You gotta go up.
Nah.
Bye.
I will say, like, seeing this graphic helps so much because just watching it sounds like they're all in cahoots with everybody.
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
You know, like it just seems like so hectic. And that first day, it was like there were so many alliances and final 2s and 3s, and Matt was in the storage room for like half the day, just like spilling everything and anything.
Room. Period.
That was his HOH room.
His office hours. Yeah, that was his HOH room.
That's office hours.
Literally, though. But yes, so this is kind of the vague, like I said, grain of salt, whole bucket of salt. Yes. Anything can happen next week. I think next week will be way more important in defining exactly what's going to happen. So make sure you're here next week after you subscribe and like it.
Honestly, I don't even think it will. Usually it does, but with this cast, I feel like it's gonna stay crazy. There's so many interconnected relationships, and they're all very active. Like all of them are really, really active gamers, except Kenney and Kimo. So it's like, but even then, they're very interconnected with a lot of the things that's happening. So I just feel like, what could it solidify as? You know, like
that's
the
true.
barbershop side and the collective side. These people aren't mixing. The Pentagon, they're already kind of solidified. You know, they're the only alliance I feel like really have come together and connected with each other and solidified each other. So I feel like that is the solidification. Like, I don't think it's gonna do more from there. If anything, it'll be fake. It'll just be just as fake as barbershop and collective. Because that would be hilarious. Like, if Matt doesn't win AI Arena, they have to evict Matt. And it's like, where does Leah and Makensy go after that? They're not gonna be loyal to no goddamn barbershop, you know? So it's like, I think this game is gonna continue changing. Like, I'm really excited.
Here's what I think will mess things up a little bit for the Pentagon. Because they seem so solid. I think showmances.
Because
can mess this up. Because it's only week 1, y'all. Like, it's, you know, Leah's been really flirty with everyone. And I know she, for the most part, probably doesn't mean it, right? And it's just how she is. But I don't know. I see her cozying up to Cam or Cedric. I see them spooning.
Or Quinn.
Or
girl.
I see Quinn a little bit, but I think Cam and Cedric more. I think it's more genuine when she's like, that maybe. And I think she's just like playing with Quinn a little bit, but maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. I've just never really considered like that showmance of those archetypes. I don't know. But
how ironic. What?
I just never witnessed it myself.
Like what?
America on here saying anything. Because girl,
no, America ain't slick. She said, I'm getting my US magazine cover first, mama. You're not about to.
I said they better not. Like, are you kidding me? This is gonna ruin my Patreon.
This is her whole shtick. What are you doing? But no, the reason I do think Quinn is maybe a bachelor is because Leah's sister all over Twitter is like, yeah, you know, Leah's kind of into that nerdy stuff. She's probably gonna link up with someone like Quinn or T-Core. So I'm like, you know, maybe she's into a little nerdy.
Honestly,
those are my faves. I'm like,
Leah,
you know,
she with Makensy and Matt, they need to break up immediately because I live for Leah. I think Leah is a really, really fun player because the fact that she even is so involved with Makensy and Matt, yet still has relationships on the other side. Like, she's working her own little game. It's giving Alice and Irwin tease. It's giving
Get into it.
I don't know, June song. I don't know.
I love it.
She could give an iconic floater game if she keeps this up, but right now it is slightly. It was stronger in the beginning. It's getting a little bit sloppy, but we'll talk about that more in the ratings.
Some of the other like quotations alliances, these aren't alliances, but things that people are like forming. Well, there's another alliance that was made with the Have Not guys with Tucker, Quinn, Cam, and Kimo. Girl, salt.
Mr.
And then Mr. Anderson's. I actually like the name. It's so cute. But and then there was talks between T-Core and Kimo are really cool. They talk a lot with Lisa. And even though Kimo doesn't like Lisa, he needs to, because they talk a lot with Lisa. And they were all discussing trying to form some type of group, and they were kind of coming up with a group, and they're like, maybe Leah can be a part of that, maybe even Cam could be a part of that. So there's rumblings with that kind of side of the world, with the Lisa, T-Core, Kimo, kind of the people who are a little bit not really in the Pentagon. Yeah. But they're still trying to play the game. So they're also thinking of stuff too. And that we can kind of start talking about Lisa now, because after Lisa was nommed, they played the veto competition, which was, I thought it was going to be something super equitable again. But apparently it's just the spelling comp, which is equitable in a way. Because, I mean, obviously Lisa won. But a lot of guys win that comp still. I think because it's the sludge. Like Kathy got stuck in the sludge. Brittany got stuck in the sludge. All of that. So, yeah. But yeah,
I want to see it. I'm wondering how they set it up, right? And I'm sure Lisa looks like pretty fit, but from what I hear, she won by a lot. So I don't know how they messed it up, but they keep like praising her, like, oh no, first, and it was only 9 letters. Like I was practicing like my 14-letter word, right? But I was like, okay, she won by 9 letters, and apparently it was a lot.
I heard there was some type of like twist or like eliminator added feature into it, so I think they did edit it a little bit. I guess we have to see. Okay. But I think I saw somewhere that they did edit it a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see. Because I don't think it was just a normal comp, only because that still seems too unfair. But I mean, Lisa won regardless, so we here. Good, thank you. So she wins, and she kind of gets a little cracked, but we're gonna get more into her in the ratings, because Lisa is a whole hoot and a holler just as a person in general. So she uses the veto on her, and after all of that, maybe T-Core is gonna be nom, blah 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 blah. Angela just renoms Matt, and the final nominees are Matt, Kenney, and Tucker, and we're going into these eviction episodes. Matt, Kenney, and Tucker. Matt, Kenney, and Kimo, and we're going into this final episode, this Thursday eviction, waiting to see which one of them win the AI arena, and then of those people, they're going to decide who to evict. It's seeming like it'll either be Kenney or it'll either be Matt. If one of them win the AI arena, the other's going home. Vice versa.
I would say, for some reason, it's going to be Kenney or Matt. For some reason, Kimo's the only one freaking out.
Girl, literally. Kenny's like, send me home. Matt's like, I got the votes. And Kimo's like, oh, are you sure? Do you think I can? Oh, please.
Bad for him. Because I'm like, I get it. Like, I like that he's a little bit paranoid. It shows that he really cares and that he knows the game enough to know that like anything can happen. And even though you're being told like that you're the pawn, you never know. But yeah, I'm like, oh, poor Kimo. Like, someone please tell him that he's safe. Like, talk game with him and like include him in something. He's just, him and T-Core are just on the outs. And I know she found out yesterday about, all the Matt and Angela situation with her volunteering to go up on the block. But yeah, I just poor Kimo.
Yeah. So that's how we're going into this eviction. This eviction episode is going to be really interesting because we don't even know who the final noms are. But we can just get into
really fun. I feel like that's kind of well, they kind of said it, like the reason why Ainsley is doing this is because she did her little calculations and people want more exciting eviction night episodes, which she kind of spilled, because eviction episodes, they're boring. I mean, it's an hour of them gaslighting us to make us believe that someone else is going home and there isn't. So at least we can get a competition, and that's, I mean, as long as it's equitable, that's always fun. Now, if they go up here and it's the challenge type challenge, it's gonna be a problem, but I don't think it will be. I have high hopes for them. I do.
Yeah. So we can get into the ratings of the players or whatever. Now, America, we give zeros. We don't mind. We go from 0 to 10, and you can do 0.5s in betweens if you want to. So it's up to you. Now, let's just go ahead and get it started with Miss Angela. What a great one to start with. America, what would you rate Angela as a player? 0 to 10.
Okay. Am I like factoring in like entertainment or like as a
you can.
Okay.
You can do what you want.
How much I like her, how much I
you can do everything. You want.
Are we getting personal? LOL. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Angela, I think game-wise, like a 6. Is that fair? I think she's doing
Love it.
okay. Maybe that's too high. Is that too
No,
high?
I love
Y'all
it.
should go first so I can see what y'all.
No, I love it. Let's give her your
Every
6.
time we go, people be like, "We too low."
I'm gonna give her the 6, and then I'll go.
Okay.
Angela, I do think it was fun that she won the first HOH for sure. Definitely a fun character. When it comes to the game, it's gonna be a no for me. The alliance that she tried to propose doesn't want her in it. Every time they talk about the collective, they're like, without Angela, right? And it's like, that's terrible. She really doesn't have many allies. People are targeting her because she was coming for Matt. She came for Matt before she was HOH. Weird and terrible. And then after she was HOH, she continued to come for him and then didn't nominate him. And then she wasn't going to renom him because she was thinking about putting up T-Core. So it's like, it's not giving you're eating it up strategically. A lot of people aren't feeling you. No one really wants to work with you. Meh. So because of that, I'm going to have to give her a really, really low score. You're arguing, going off on people. Girl, calm down. I'm going to have to give her... Damn. And you know, we don't think about this before we come in, but it's a 2. Sorry.
And you know, America.
There's so many people way lower than her. Also, I feel like she knows about this.
We
power.
give ones.
Like, that's a huge like game advantage, I think. She knows about Quinn's power. Okay, no, but we didn't even talk about the fact that she thinks Lisa, she's so convinced Lisa has the other power.
Girl, yes.
When tech, like, that doesn't make sense. She came in with Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even thinking it out. They're really not even thinking it out. They're all
entertainment. She's 11. Entertainment wise, I don't want Angela to go home. Let me do my disclaimer because we need it, y'all. These ratings for at least me and Lee, for the most part. Let me just speak on myself. Fuck it. For me, it is going to be 99%, 90% game. For the most part, I am genuinely just looking at their game. Who they're best friends with, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about that at this moment, because at this moment, I'm just rating their game. Angela, love her too. Lee.
And I just want to say, America, you can base your ratings on anything you want, girl. Okay, if you want to give her a 10 because you love her, period. Okay, mama. But you know, when I'm thinking of Angela in the game,
you're giving her 1, aren't you?
No. I just feel like a lot of the things that Pharaoh was saying, you know, she was going off on people, and it's like it wouldn't even be a problem if she was going off on people, but it's the fact that the alliance that she was in the middle of creating, she basically pissed all of them off, and then really didn't even try to reconnect or get that group back together, to the point of they're literally trying to work together without her. Like at this point, I do think that she is, if anything, just a kind of puppet for that side. They kind of using her because she is the bigger target, the bigger shield in front of them, and that's really what she's providing. I feel like, as even like a gamer, like I like some of the things she tries to do, like the fact that she even tried to create an alliance, the fact that she is still creating final twos, you know, trying to get into that have not guys alliance. Like these are little things that she's doing to protect herself, but she hindered herself way more than protecting or extending her game with this HOH week. So I don't think that she's in immediate danger. I think she can get nominated, but targeted, I don't know. But overall, I'm gonna land on a 3.
Period. Okay, America, we went.
Okay, well now I'm gonna do 2s and 3s and.
No!
Now I know what kind of game y'all are playing. Okay, I see you. Maybe go first, making me look bad.
No. Okay, boom. We can move on to Brooklyn. If she stay up. Okay, boom. We can move up to Brooklyn.
Reset. No.
Brooklyn is an interesting one. Like we talked about, she's in the Pentagon, which is only loose. She's in the barbershop, which is very loose, like me. No, I didn't mean that. But so you know, it's really for a lot of these people. I'm gonna try to keep it middle ground because we have to wait for next week, bitch. I can see anybody can be on the bottom next week. I don't know because this cast is very all over the place. But with Brooklyn, I like her game. I love how she kept herself open to being allies with almost anyone in the game. Like that's why she was included in damn near every. And it was weird because we were watching day one, and I'm like, she ain't even really doing a lot. But everyone was like, "Oh, and Brooklyn, and we can keep Brooklyn in this, and us, and then maybe Brooklyn." So she was very included in a lot of things, and that is probably why she was able to get into the Pentagon, because she was making herself available. She was clearly playing a good social game, and I talk a lot about Cam, or I think a lot about Cam being under the radar. Brooklyn is under the radar. Like, I don't see anyone thinking of targeting Brooklyn for a while. She's a very, very potential contender, because I don't think her game can get clocked as easily as like a Chelsie who's playing both sides, or even a Quinn who's playing both sides. Brooklyn's the one who can play both sides, and I feel like kind of be unnoticed for a long time. So I really do like a lot of her potential in this game. I wish she was a little bit more active. Everything that came together, if Brooklyn wasn't in the house, all of that still would have happened. She didn't affect really anything that I think happened, and I think that's my one issue. You gotta be a little more active, you know. So
I'm gonna say all this and then be like 3.
So no, I'm gonna actually give Brooklyn a 6. I'm gonna give her a 6.
Yeah, mama.
Oh.
Yeah, give her a 6. Lee.
Yeah, I liked a lot of things we got from Brooklyn this week. I mean, the fact that she's in the Pentagon, which I see as the strongest alliance in the house, is really, really good. And I also like that she had really great relationships with the barbershop. The fact that she got pulled into that. I feel like the only thing I would like to see more from Brooklyn is a little bit more of a connection with Kimo, T-Core, Quinn. Because I feel like she's connected to Quinn through the Pentagon, but not necessarily individually. She needs to make sure she gets these individual connections with people who are going to be in the game the longest. Because I feel like right now she's at the bottom of the Pentagon because she's the last one brought in. She has no connections with most of the collective, and I do feel like more of the collective will be in the game than the Makensy Matt side of things. I do. And she seems more closer with that side. But overall, I think that that's not something that's going to affect her right now. Like, she still has time to do that. And I feel like she still could. She seems like she could be great at these competitions that they're going to get. And she's active socially in a way that still gets her included into these alliances. So I agree with the 6.
Mm-hmm. America?
Well, I can't say she's as good as Angela. So
Period.
I'm gonna say an 8. I think she's doing great.
Period.
Everything that y'all
No,
said.
right.
I think she's super low key. I think she's really good at building connections, and that social game is really strong. She's also surprised me. She's someone that obviously going into the game, everyone's shitting on her on Twitter preseason, and I was like, came in like a little hesitant about her, but watching her play, I'm like, oh, she's good, and I think she does need to work on one-on-ones, but we'll get there.
Mhm.
It's week 1.
Yeah.
I think she's
She
got
got
the
time.
skill set to get there.
Mm-hmm. Next we have Cam. Lee, how do you feel about Cam so far?
Cam, I like Cam. I tweeted that I think he's a sleeper hit of the season. He's giving winner. It's no shade. He's giving just that the even killed guy. You know, a lot of people like him. A lot of people want to bring him in. Like, I remember Lisa was doing. She wants to start her own alliance of like T-Core, Kimo, Leah, Quinn, and she included Cam in that. She wanted to work with Cam. And I saw earlier today they were doing yoga together. Like, he's like one of those low-key social players that's like he's making these really good, I feel like, individual connections with people. I feel like within the Pentagon, he's one of the better set up because I feel like, you know, he kind of has Cedric. And Quinn seems to want to share a lot of information with him as well. And I feel like that's what I noticed the most about Cam this week. It seems like people trust him with information, even though he's barely done really anything to necessarily earn it. They kind of just like him. And we see in Big Brother that helps all the time, especially with archetypes like Cam. So because of that, I'm going to go with the 7 this week. I feel like, you know, he was able to get into the alliance that I believe is going to run the game. And everyone seems to like him. And if they don't, they want to try and pull him into something. So I think it's a good game so far.
America, what you think?
I'll say an 8 for him too.
Okay, America.
I like him. He's cute. He's got a great social game, and he is in that core 3.
Yeah.
So, and I think people will clock Chelsie and Cedric before they see him as a threat, or like as like, you know, as squirrely, or like, because like I said, Chelsie and Cedric are sort of everywhere. I think Cam's more chill. So even though he is like just obviously a very physical threat, I think he's good. I think he's solid.
Yeah, love him. If I had to pick a winner, it would be Cam. Like if I had to guess off of week 1, I'm gonna guess Cam. I'm gonna give him the 7 as well. Honestly, same thing y'all said. He is eating when it comes to really like just this. I think his social game is just really good because I was watching feeds. A lot of the feeds today were just like casual talking, and all of his conversations, you could just tell like I like him. Just listening to him speak, and I'm like, oh, like I'm voting him to win now. So definitely a 7 for me. Next is my man. Okay, America, you could go first. Let me be quiet.
Stand up.
I feel so bad. Can I change my Angela? This isn't fair, y'all. This is not fair.
You can change your Angela. You can change your. You can do whatever you want.
Can I change my Angela to like I'll change to a 4 if that's okay. Because now in comparison, I wasn't thinking. I was so sorry.
Okay.
Cedric. Okay. Cedric, he has surprised me. I love how gamery he is. He's so gamey, game bot. I didn't expect that from him. I'll say 7.
Yay!
7. I love him. I think he's so cute. He's got a way of talking to everyone. Like he's able to talk to Angela and make her feel good. He's able to talk to like the younger people and make them feel good. I feel like he's a really good social player. And he's creating all these alliances. He came in and he's like, I don't care. I'm going to take charge. His one thing is playing a loyal game. I think that'll be his downfall. I feel like people will cut him and he won't see it coming because he's like, oh, well, I'm playing such a loyal game, so people should be loyal to me. And that's not how it works. Right. But I like him. So
yeah, I like Cedric a lot. But
okay, girl, we get it.
Oh, please.
We get it. You do this every season.
But with Cedric, I feel like his game is just going to, I can already see the end of his game. Like it's just screaming in your face. And I feel like that's the issue. He's just not a fan. So you could tell some of the things he does is like great instinct and probably like from watching a little bit, but he is like lacking the knowledge of a fan. And I feel like someone like Chelsie or even Brooklyn, you can kind of see they probably know a little bit, or at least a little more. And I feel like with him, he's kind of like going based off of like, I don't know, just what he's seen and what he thinks. I think he's still a great player. There's a lot of recruits who can do really good, but I can just tell that his downfall is going to come. I think he's going to be like a buffer for like a Cam or even maybe a Chelsie. Like that trio in general, it's like if a shot gets taken, it's probably going to get taken at him, or he could just end up on him because he's a little bit less self-interested. He's clearly more group interested, I feel. And that's going to be his downfall. So I'm just going to give him the 6 as of now. He's playing really good. He created a lot of these groups. He's doing really good socially for the most part. So still a 6. Lee.
Oh, I'm gagged. I thought he would be higher. Cause I do think this is a really good first week for him. Like the fact that he had the downgrade and he was still able to kind of like maintain his safety within the house. I feel like he did a lot of good things with help creating his alliances, like you said. Like he helped start the collective. He helped kind of start the Pentagon. He helped kind of start the barbershop. You know, he's a really major player in a lot of these conversations to make these alliances happen. Now, as far as individual connections, you know, Matt is questioning him. I know Quinn is questioning him. Mm-hmm. It's a few people who've mentioned, you know, I don't know about Cedric, you know, necessarily being loyal to this group. So I can see that being an issue later down the line. However, he's in the majority alliance that I feel like is really controlling things right now. And unless that starts to break up anytime, like if that doesn't break up anytime soon, I think he's going to be good for a while. Like what's going to affect him is really towards the end game. But for right now, I think that he's a major part in running what's kind of happening right now. And as far as like socially, none of the people who are speaking negatively on him, like Matt is going to go home. That doesn't matter what Matt says. Let's be for real. And Quinn, we kind of said it earlier in the podcast. What support is he going to have to get out of Cedric at some point? You know what I mean? I think that he's in a lot of circles that is protecting him. You know, T-Core likes him a lot. He has the Pentagon. They just created the barbershop. So I'm going to go with the 7 with him as well.
Period. Next we have Chelsie. I really like Chelsie in this game. I feel like she's really, really good player. Like when I watched those first night feeds, it was starting off with her and Makensy, and I'm like, oh, they best friends. I literally made a tweet. So I was like, here they go, linking up.
I did too. I was like, oh my God, Bible 101. Like.
Literally. And then we had to give her time because later in the night, she's talking to like the other group of people, Joseph and Angela, and she's like, telling them about what Matt and Makensy were saying in the storage room and like snitching on them. And then it was very clear what side of the kind of game she was leaning towards, but also it wasn't very clear unless you waited to see her talk to the other side. You really thought she was with Makensy, and it's like, damn, you were really eating her up because you was eating me up. So I really like that she's good at mirroring the person she's with. She's good at making the person who she's speaking with at the time feel super, super loyal to her. But the issue I feel like with Chelsie is kind of like the one-on-one connections, or like just the personal boldness of it. It's like we're just 1 week in, but it's like, who's your number one? And really good players, they kind of have some sort of like, I feel something about them. I don't know if it's a charisma or whatever, where it's like you could see them having number ones all over the board. I feel like I can see that with Quinn. I already can see Cam and Cedric just kind of choosing each other over her. And it's like with her, I'm like, girl, you need somebody. And we saw her talk to Quinn and Joseph, like really Quinn. She was like, oh, we can link up. She talked to Joseph separately about how they can link up and bring in Quinn, whatever it is. And it's like, I love the ideas, but also I need her to do that, because that's the most important thing I feel like for a player like Chelsie, is to actually have a ride or die, or like some type of really close relationship. But she's doing so good. She's in the core. She's in the Pentagon. She's in all the alliances. No one dislikes her. Everyone, for the most part, trusts her. And that's honestly better than Cedric. And I think with Cam, it's like about what and what, where it's to the point where it's like a lot of people want Cam in their alliance, but a lot of people like Chelsie as well. And she's included in all of those. So I really like her position a lot. I'm going to give her the 7, just like Cam. Actually, I'm finna give her the 7.5. I really am, because the way I feel actively does what she does is a little bit just more impressive. It's more impressive the more active you are. She's super intentional. She does stuff very much so on purpose, and she's very active. I feel like Cam is more so, personality. And there's nothing wrong with that. But with Chelsie, it seems like she has to work to make people like her. And with Cam, it's like, oh, they just like him. And you get that a lot with the alpha guys. And it's like, meh. But Chelsie, she got to work. But yeah. Somebody else, Lee, how you feel?
No, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I was going to say the same thing towards the end about how her game is really active as opposed to Cam, where it's like a lot of people just gravitate towards him, and she is the one making sure these conversations happen. And similar to Cedric, like, I love that she had to downgrade and she didn't let her stop that. She didn't let that stop her this week. She still went and created connections on both sides of the game. She has a connection with Joseph separately, a connection with Cedric and Cam separately. She also has a connection with Makensy and Matt. She really is all over the board, and T-Core as well. But I think it goes back to what you were saying a little bit too, the individual connections of it all. Like, she's a big target. She is. And I don't think that she's going to have to manage her threat level at some point. And without having, I think that ride or die, or that group that's just loyal to the core with you, when her target comes, it's going to be hard for her to avoid that, because she's just a really huge target. And I think people already are starting to notice that she's playing the best game. Like, I think it was Joseph and Cedric had a conversation about her playing a really, really good game. And so I can see that being a consistent theme with her, because her personality, she's just so, it's really polarizing. You know what I mean? Like, I think you can get the sense that she's playing the game just by the conversation that she has. She seems really intellectual with the things she's doing. And my biggest fear is that maybe she won't be able to handle that once she gets targeted. But right now, I think she's great. I agree with the 7.5. And I was saying as well, like, she definitely needs to lock in more with, I think, a T-Core, because I don't see anyone taking her to Final 2. And this is just week 1, so I'm not going to put too much stake into it. But I just feel like she is a huge threat, and everyone's going to recognize that, specifically within the Pentagon. And I'm looking at, like, the core. I think Cedric and Cam probably do choose each other. I can see that for right now. And if she doesn't kind of get in between that and break them up, then she's going to be asked out. But her best bet is prioritizing T-Core, where she needs to do more, because I do think T-Core would choose her. So she need to get on that, because I think that will be her biggest downfall.
America.
I can already see, like you said, Lee, Chelsie trying to break Cam and Cedric up, and spreading a lie or something, and that getting back to them, backfiring, and she goes out instead. You know what I mean? Like, she's gonna get caught. I like her a lot. I'll do 7.5 too. Hello. finally on the same.
Hey.
Because I feel like she is between Cam and Cedric for me. Like I feel like Cam is a very like effortless game. It's very passive for now, and it works just because of his personality. I think she is a little bit more strategic than Cedric. So 7.5. I'll put her there. I feel like I see her like burning out too because she's starting off really strong, really fast. Again, people are catching on to her. In a couple of weeks, will people see her as a big threat? Probably. So she's got to like pump the brakes a little bit and take, now that there's all these alliances created to protect her, just take a step back and just focus on building those one-on-one connections with T-Core, please. They were talking last night and I was like, Chelsie, T-Core has nobody. Like she's so desperate to have a number. Like, please just tell her the truth, pull her in and make her your number one. She's a good, I love her. I love T-Core, but
T-Core stayed.
Period. Next we have Joseph Lee. How do you feel about Joseph?
Joseph, I feel like he started this game off really, really strong. I thought that, honestly he was going to be in Quinn's position. It's baffling that he's not in the Pentagon. It's baffling that he's not in the barbershop. He had the connection with Angela. He had the early connection with Matt and MJ, and all of it went to shit. You know, after the blow up between Matt and Angela, Matt fully turned on Joseph. He felt like Joseph had something to do with it because people were aware that Joseph had a strong connection with Angela. But that isn't even there anymore because she's against them a little bit too. She believes that he's working with Matt and somehow got Matt to start all of this mess. So he really, you know, after the blow up and got called out by Matt, he really took a step back in the game. And I do feel like maybe that hurt him more than helped him because the game continued. You know, I see him a lot in the rock room or, you know, in the bed in the rock room or talking kind of to the same people. You know, once he felt that he was on the other side of Matt, he kind of tried to stick with the collective side of things, which I don't think is an issue. It's just the main problem is the collective isn't necessarily real. You know, the Pentagon is the more real one, and he's not getting in that. And then, like, I don't know where he goes at this point. You know, I know that Matt, Makensy, maybe even Leah would nominate him. I know Kenney mentioned it. It's just like I think that he's an easy name to come up because he was such in connection with Angela, and he's not doing much to expand his relationships. Like I said, he was really on both sides of the game, and now he's sticking to one particular side. Specifically, from what I'm seeing, it's like Tucker a little bit, T-Core, Quinn, like Cam, but like I said, that collective group isn't a real thing anymore. So I do feel like I'm going to go with the 5 on Joseph. I feel like he's not down and out yet. I feel like he's a really good gamer. Like, he understands the game. It's just he had to get back in it. Like, he took a big step back, and he needs to really get back into it. Because once Matt leaves, I think he can go back doing the both sides kind of thing. Like, he needs to make sure he gets close to people because he can be someone that I could easily just take out.
Yeah. America, how you feel?
5 as well. I see him in a lot of group conversations, but not really one-on-ones like that. At the beginning, we saw him. I thought he was in that trio with Cedric and Cam and Chelsie because I saw them in the rock room a lot. But he's sort of like blended in the background.
Right.
I think that's hurting him a lot, and it's, you know, just his social game hasn't been the best. So I'm gonna give him a 5. I'm sorry, Joseph, but that's what he gets for calling our season boring. Today,
period.
Being like, nobody was funny last season. I was like, just say you're a casual. Just say it. Don't pretend to be a super fan.
Fuck him. I'm gonna give him the 5 as well. I agree with everything y'all are saying. I think one of my main issues with him is he is someone who's also saying like, oh, the collective, we'll put that on the back burner. But him and T-Core and Kimo, they should be the main ones making the collective a real thing. He should be like, the collective is a real thing. Actually, we are an alliance. So that way it's forcing people to be with you, especially because he doesn't have anything else. Like, the Pentagon chilling on the collective, they can do that. They have the Pentagon, they have the barbershop, they have the collective. They're so good. All you got is this one named alliance, and you should be pushing it. And I don't like that he isn't. So it's gonna be a 5. I think he did good. I think he can bounce back, but for now, 5. Ciao, America. Next, Kenney. Any thoughts?
Boo, 0. Tomato, definite 0. Like, he is not there. He came for a week summer vacation. Like, camp. I don't know. He's not playing at all. He bonded with Matt day one, I guess. We didn't see it on the feed. We saw it on the episode. And they're like, oh, military, Marines, whatever, like cops, yeah. And he's like, that's my guy for life. Like, I will fall on the sword for that. I was like, what are you doing? He is just so bad socially. He doesn't know what's going on at all. Like, he's not even paranoid about what's going on. He simply doesn't care. And honestly, he came in like, oh, I'm gonna be Derek and I'm gonna, have my number one. And I think he considers himself and Matt that Cody and Derek duo, but he's actually Victoria because he does not know.
He's not even Victoria.
I love you, Victoria, but he's just clueless. And the fact that it's so clear that he doesn't even care about staying. It's just so boring. Like, come on. Like, why are you here? Why'd you go? I'm telling y'all, like, the audition process, the casting process is so long. Like, it's months and months and months, tests and tests. And like, we take a bunch of quizzes and then we meet with a bunch of different people. It's so exhausting that you would think like by the end of it, you would know whether you really want to do it or not. And it's just disappointing.
I said the same shit, and it's a 0. Tomato, tomato, tomato. Like Angela said on the feed, she was like, Kenney, I really want you to win against Matt. And Kenney was like, oh, but Matt's my boy. And she was like, oh, but I just want you to win. And he was like, oh, but Matt's my boy. And she was like, so you're not gonna want to win the AI competition just because that's your boy? We're here to play a game. And Kenney was like, well, I'm not going after him like you are. I haven't raised my voice in this game. And she's like, okay, but are you here to play the game and stay and literally just win so you don't go home or not? And he's basically saying no. And then now he's walking around, honestly, if it's me and Matt, I mean, she's gonna get what she deserves. Just evict me. Bitch, it's a 0. Why the fuck is you here? Do you know how many people will want to be in your position and you sitting here giving it up for a man you don't even know who don't give a fuck about you? Are you dumb? 0. Lee, how you feeling?
They were saying, girl, because y'all heard that tea about him being a swinger, the upside down pineapple. The girls were saying,
he's got a date.
He was like, he's trying to recruit a partner real quick. But
and I would too. I will say. That's the thing. If it's given Matt, like, I'm throwing myself on the sword so you can do something in return, all power to him. I'll give him that.
He's playing the long game, bitch. Okay.
I know that's right.
I mean, everything that y'all said, I'm not going to waste too much time on him. He's a 0. Next.
Hey, man. Next, Kimo. Whew, I almost said another 0. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now, y'all, I'm going to be honest. Kimo pisses me the fuck off. And look, I love Kimo. He's gay representation. Shout out to the LGBT. He's from Hawaii. Shout out to Hawaii. To the Hawaiians. Like, shout out to all of that. Shout out to all of that for sure. Love what he can represent in this game. Now, do I love him in this game? No. All he does, people have been calling him Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Child, it's definitely giving Kevin from Big Brother 22. It's definitely giving, I'm just moping around. But well, am I going home? And then it's like, I'm just so sick of it because you're not. And then he's sitting there talking to T-Core. And T-Core is like, girl, I just found out that I was going to be the renom. And he was like, oh, you know what? I knew that this whole time. Oops, I'm sorry. And it's like, girl, hello? Why aren't you telling her? And then he needs to be locking in with T-Core. In that same conversation, he says, T-Core, can you be honest with me? If it's me and Matt on the block, after she just said she don't like Matt. If it's me, Matt, on the block, are you evicting me? Sir, please get your head in the game. I don't know if it's because he's numb, because the slap. I don't really care either. For me, at this moment, I'm really turned off by the way he's playing. I don't think he's playing necessarily good in any sense of the word. People clearly trust him enough for Quinn to tell him about his power. I do like that. He is in this quotations collective. And other than the collective, people do talk to him a lot. Like, when he does engage, people engage back. When he talks to Quinn, Quinn tells him about his whole ass power. So it's like, I'll give him that. He's clearly liked and he's clearly able to be social. I think he's just in a bad position. But he is nommed and he is annoying me. So because of that, I'm going to give him a 3 this week. America, how you feeling?
I'll say 3.5. Oh, Kimo. I loved him from his interviews. And I was like, oh, he's going to bring the drama, like he said, right? And he's brought nothing. And it's so sad because I feel like I feel bad because I feel like similar to him in a way that like it takes a while to like warm up to people, and maybe that's his personality, but the game has taken off without him and he's left out of so many things. And you would think I don't know. If I were on the block and Matt and Kenney are sitting next to me, I feel like he should have the social, like the awareness, the self awareness to be like, Matt's obviously a bigger threat. Kenny's obviously a bigger threat. Like, why would I go? But he's still really paranoid. Like, doesn't really have the self awareness in that sense of, or the awareness at all of what's going on in the game. And although Quinn did tell him about the power, I think that's just Quinn fucking up. I don't think that really has to do with Kimo having an excellent social game and making people trust him like that. But I really want him to start opening up more, and so we can see the Kimo that we saw in those interviews. Because so far, it's been like a different person. Like it's not the same guy at all.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think it's the slop with that as well. I think maybe the slop is really
Not the glitter.
The glitter too, because she put something in that glitter. I don't care what nobody say. Something in that damn glitter. But yeah, I feel that. I feel like it has to be probably the slop in the situation he's in, because he was shocked by the nomination. He cried when it happened. But like you said, America, the game has really taken off without him, and whether it's the slop or whatever have you. Since that's happened, he now has to work at a disadvantage, and he's not doing anything to fix that. Like, I think he's very similar to T-Core in the sense of that they're both underestimated underdogs in this game right now. But T-Core, on the other hand, is very active in trying to make social connections. Like I said, Kimo really only speaks to the same 5 people. And of course, people have promised him that he's staying this week, but it's mainly because they just hate Kenney and they hate Matt. It's not because he's, making them want him to stay. And I guess that's why he's so confused about the votes all the time, because he realizes he ain't doing shit either. It's like I want him to get more into it, talk to more people. He has an entire alliance, that he believes collectives. That's not real, but it's like that group is still technically there. You can have those connections. I always see him talking to Rubina or T-Core or Lisa about how someone else feels. You go talk to them. I don't see him talk to Chelsie like that. I don't see him talk to Cam, Cedric, Matt, Makensy. You have to talk to these people, because the little group that he has isn't going to protect them for that long, because they're not the people who are in the main conversation. So I agree with the 3. I want to see more from Kimo. I do think that he's someone that could potentially be, I don't know, he just gives me like low-key comp beats, doesn't he? Like I feel like he's going to win about like 3 vetoes, a few HOHs. I don't know. I feel that arc coming, but it's just
so
same. But I just, because like right now I'm like, you're a super fan. I know you are, because of the references you use preseason, but you're not playing like a super fan. You're playing like you don't know what the hell is going on, sir.
And same shit with him and Joseph. Why are you not pushing the collective? He was one of the main ones. I don't know about that. I don't think I could trust any of those people. You ain't got no choice who to trust.
He also doesn't trust Lisa. I'm like, why would you not trust? I don't get why no one trusts.
He's not telling T-Core none of the information. You don't trust nobody.
The T-Core thing pissed me off, because I was like, she's the only person you talk to.
Girl.
You hear that she's volunteering up on the block. You don't think to go talk to her and check and double check? Like,
didn't say shit. And I'm thinking like, this is your literal only ally in the game for real.
And you said she's the only one you trust. So why didn't you next? You know what?
He goes, I forgot. I'm like, are you
girl? I could have been nominated and you forgot.
Forgot doing what? You weren't talking to nobody but me all fucking day. That's all you do.
And oh my God. That's like my issue with the game is that like communicating with your allies is important. You have to be on the same page. If you get information, you tell her so we can figure out what to do something with it. If he gets like Quinn's power or her being a pawn, like these things like that he's getting information from and he's not sharing, it's like, well, what are you going to do with the information?
Exactly.
I need him to leak Quinn's power.
Literally.
T-Core wouldn't tell anybody. I know that, but I feel like it would make T-Core feel more empowered, and it would make her feel like she has some sort of agency in the game. And I know we don't have T-Core till the very end, but like, yeah, because obviously Kimo's not doing anything with this information right now. I don't think he realizes how big the power is. Did Quinn tell him the specifics of like?
He told him everything. He told him the whole plan.
Oh, hello. He knows how big this is of a deal. This is. I need somebody to please. Please.
Next, we have Miss Leah. Lee, how do you feel about Leah?
I do love me some Leah real bad. I do. She's just so fun. Like, she has a really great personality. Of course, if you've seen her tweets, she's pro everything she needs to be pro. That's a mother right there. And I just love her game. It's like, it's just this really just interesting floater strategy. Like, she's making connections across the house. Like I said earlier, it started off stronger in the beginning of the week because she was way more involved with the Angela side of things. But as she got closer with Matt and MJ, people realize that and they kind of more associate her with them. But I feel like what I'm hearing a lot of is we like Leah, we just don't like Leah connected to them. We want to get rid of them and then bring Leah in, which is really good for Leah's spot right now. It's just at some point, if she doesn't separate herself from them more, it's going to be a problem. Like, I think she's someone that could have been pitched for the Pentagon. She's someone that could have fully been in the fake collectives if she had just been separated from them a little bit more. But I like Leah because I feel like she's someone that is just going to be able to kind of weasel her way through, I feel, because of the little connection she has here and there. Like, what we've been saying about a few of the other players is that she's really good with individual connections. Like, I see a lot of time of her going to Lisa. I see her go to Brooklyn, Matt and MJ separately. Like, she's spoken to people on a level of like, I really get you. I feel like we understand each other, and it's working in these cases. I feel like she's a really good individual player in that way. It's just, she's not in the Pentagon, and she's connected with two people who are the most hated in the house. I think she'll be able to pivot if Matt goes home. Like, that would be the best bet for her if Matt goes. But I do feel like some of the allegiances have already kind of formed, and specifically with the Pentagon, if that's something that's going to continue kind of dominating these next few weeks, I don't know where she goes within all of that. But I feel like I trust her social game enough that she'll be able to finagle her way through. So for me, I'm gonna go with the 5.5.
Ooh, America, how you feeling?
I'm gonna give her a 6. Half of her lucky number. I like her a lot, and I know people have been saying like, "Oh my God, she yaps so much. She doesn't stop talking about herself." As a live feeder, I love hearing her stories. I want to know more about her, right? And it's like I'm locked in. I want to hear these stories. She does a great job, like you mentioned, Lee, like having these one-on-ones, and like I see her in the unicorn room all the time being like, I get you, I see you, like, yes, like at the beginning it was with Lisa, and then I see her having this conversation with Brooklyn and Angela. Like, she's able to form these connections. The one thing is like she's a really social person, really bubbly, she's really flirty. I want to see what kind of strategy she has. Like, how does she see herself in this game? Because I don't think she has a very clear idea of how people are dividing, right? Like the Pentagon here, and then there's like these two sides.
Right.
I don't know if she realizes how people see her like as super close with Matt and Makensy. And even then, with Matt gone, I think the glue between those three is Matt. So with Matt gone, I think, she'll be able to just float around and find another home. But people do just see her as a number right now, which I need her to talk more concrete strategy. But it's hard the first week. I get it. Like, first week, you just want to, you just got out of being in a hotel room for 2 weeks, not speaking to anybody, just, locked in this space. So first you want to get like your bearings. I'm excited to hear more of her stories and see, what happens with her.
No, literally,
more of her actual game.
I think you and Leah would be best friends, America. I really do. Like, y'all need to work together in BB30 All Stars.
Yes. When it's all girls, yeah. When the next All Stars is all girls.
The way that would actually eat, though. That's what we need.
That would eat. Ooh.
Me, Leah, and Angela, bestie.
Not Angela, child. She gonna, child, not her.
It need to be
Let her go home.
You and Leah.
Okay. Yeah. No.
You said Angela, yeah. Felicia, her, and Lee. Please. I agree with everything y'all said about Leah. I'm gonna give her the 5 though. I feel like I'm just kind of what kind of what America said. Like, she's and like the individual relationships are there, but like where she sits in the actual structure of what the house could become, it's like scary to think about because she doesn't really have, I feel like, a good path into a structure that could be formed. Even if a new one is formed, I don't necessarily see her having to be a part of it because of all these other things going on. And then her relationship to Matt Makensy, and then who knows, Matt could win the AI arena. It's a comp, like, and of course they've been more equitable, but it's 1 in 3. Kenney seems like he's finna fucking throw it to him. Matt could just win the AI arena, and then it's like you're really still gonna be considered they're a trio, and then it might get even worse. So I think her being so close to them kind of openly was not a good decision. And then her one-on-one relationships are really good, and I love that she does that, but it's better to have a solid kind of grouping, and I don't see her seeking that the way I want her to. So I'm gonna just keep her at the 5, but got my eye on her. That's a dark horse, I feel. Period.
I mean, her lucky number 26, girl. She's
And
coming.
it's her lucky number 26,
That
girl.
means something. Like, I believe in that
Period.
stuff too. Like, that is a sign. I'm with her. Like, people thought she was like ditzy and all that, but I was like, no, like, this is for real. Like, I get her.
Especially the way she understands the social relations. It's definitely way more on top of it than I think someone who would just be, oh, the ditzy girl. Like, she's clearly not just that. Especially too, because I see it for her when it comes to, like, the lucky number thing, because I know Janelle had tweeted about, you know, she's a VIP cocktail waitress, and, you know, her, Portia, and Rachel all made top 3. I'm telling you, I can see Leah in top 3. And we gonna wake up 3 months from now and she's gonna be in the top motherfucking 3. I can see
it. Okay, next we have Lisa. America, how do you feel about Lisa? Cracked queen, child.
Oh my god. I mean, I love her. As a casting choice, like, she is amazing. I will say 3 though, just because everyone hates her.
Does.
Everyone.
Real bad.
Tucker,
literally everyone.
Tucker so much, like, he feels so comfortable talking about how he hates her that, like, he doesn't care. Anybody that will listen, he'll be on his own in the have not room and he'll be talking about how much he hates her. Like, he'll wake up and just talk about Lisa. So I don't think that's a good sign. I think, she won this first competition. We'll see how the rest goes. Maybe she's a comp beast. We don't know. But I think she's going to need to win. She doesn't have a lot of allies. People don't really seem to be clicking with her. And it really rubbed me the wrong way, the way she was just dusting people's
girl. What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you know how mad I would be
so pissed
if I'm trying and you just come? First of all, your dirty ass hands. Where your hands been? Oh, please.
So for me, is the craziest thing ever. Like
what? She's insane.
How do I know this shit is edible?
Wait, I don't know where you got this damn random ass glitter. Anyways,
I don't know where you been at.
It's gonna be a 2.5 for me. Literally, no one likes her. She's honestly, I don't know her, but watching her is, damn. We're here at we put the real in reality. Watching her is annoying. She is annoying. I would be annoyed. I don't think she will be able to. Oh, when she won the veto and she used it on herself, there was a long conversation with her and Matt, and Matt's basically pressing her, calling her selfish and all kinds of things about the veto, which was super weird on his part. But on her part, instead of her, like, I guess, steering the convo to him trusting her again or whatever, she just really wanted to argue with him about it. And then she went around the house all day and all of her game combos were just about that combo. And it's like, it just tells me the type of player she is. She's going to be way too hyper focused on one concern. Like when she got nommed, it was positive. I guess it was good. Oh, go talk game. But when I realized every game combo was just about the fact that Angela put her up and she was blindsided, it's like, you're too hyper focused. You need to be focused about getting votes and you're complaining about Angela nominating you. You need to be focused on Matt liking you or gaining allies and you're complaining about, and you wasted all of that day going back and forth with Matt about some bullshit. So I don't see the promise. Hopefully she can get better, but I don't see it. Lee, how you feeling?
Yeah, Lisa, she's hilarious. And like I said, I truly love that she won this veto. I love it so bad because never in a million years did I think Lisa was going to win this veto. It wasn't even a thought in my mind. And when she come back and they said that she had it, I said, wow, this is a motherfucking season, ain't it? Because what universe are we in? Like, I absolutely love it. And I do think she is going to be a low-key comp beast because she does the yoga. Like, girl, today I saw her. She was doing push-ups with the weights and lifting it. I said,
don't gag it like that.
Put her on the wall. So,
move over, Jag. Yeah, we got a new comp piece. He's coming for that record.
Please. She's definitely going to be the next coming of Miranda Ball. No shade.
Oh, please.
But I can see, if they do pressure cooker, Lisa probably going to win because she going to zone out. She going to zen out into like,
or the pressure is going to cook her because she does get a little antsy sometimes.
I don't know. I think she'd be talking people's ear off.
Oh, that's tea. I would have to leave just because I don't want to be by the glitter. Please.
Yep.
She's going to be throwing glitter.
Girl.
But no, I love her. And honestly, she is annoying, but I think I would love to work with a person like that in the game because, I mean, she's a great shield. And I think she is going to be loyal to whoever picks her up. But no one wants to pick her up. And that's the biggest thing. Like, she's not included in anything. I like that she's actively trying to create things, but her activeness is not effective because people just don't like her personality. And sometimes that's just not something that you can change in the Big Brother house. Like, she's just not vibing with them. And she's Lisa, so I don't think she's gonna change who she is. I saw people were updating in the chat that apparently she told Angela, "Girl, professionally, I can't be friends with you, so we have to stop talking." Apparently,
professionally,
that happened on feeds while we were live. So
that's hilarious.
Lisa clearly doesn't give a fuck. Okay, but yeah, and I know she had a conversation yesterday. She was talking to T-Core, and she was like, I don't know if we can evict Matt this week because I think it'll be too messy. That just made me feel like, girl, your reads are kind of like.
And that's where T-Core got that idea. T-Core got that and ran with it. She's like, we can't evict Matt. I was like, but
it's like, girl, don't listen to Lisa Ash.
You're talking to the wrong person, baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, game wise, I'm gonna go with the 2. I think this is just a really bad week, and not even because she's just this outsider. Because I do think a lot of the reason why she's getting ostracized a little bit is because she is just different, and that always sucks in Big Brother when the different person gets ostracized. But unfortunately, she is at the bottom of the house, and I think it's to the point where even if Matt goes home this week, girl, Lisa will go next because people are that against her. Like literally, if she stayed on the block, she would have went home this week, even over Matt, probably.
She was the person they wanted to take out.
So and that's what makes it so iconic that she won veto, because it's like, oh mother, like I'm telling y'all, they ain't gonna be able to get Lisa out.
The target wasn't even her. The target was Kenney. I know she would have found a way, like, to flip the target on herself if she would have won that veto.
Literally.
Like, kind of starting, and then it tipped over.
Yeah.
Next we have Turner's in the chat. America, thoughts on Turner? That's your bestie?
I tweeted about him during his season.
What did you say?
I said some shit. I was like,
"Girl, we made a whole video. You're good.
It's okay. We all did.
And look, I deleted so many. No, I deleted so many of my tweets before going into the house because they're like, oh, if you're like talking shit about like Big Brother production, any of that stuff. I didn't want to risk it. Right. So I just like went. I bought this like software program and deleted all of my tweets from a certain amount. It didn't delete all of them. I come out of the house and I see me tweeting about Derek X, like talking about how hot he is, and about Turner. I'm like, well, if he's gonna be friends with Kyle, then he's a racist too. Hashtag BB23. I thought I ate that, and so I come out and I'm having dinner with him and his fiance.
Not dinner after you done. What are you doing? This is because I know I be talking shit. Like I have it's video footages. So if I'm ever in that situation, I'm like, I just got to be real, right?
You don't have to stand no business, Pharaoh, because girl, it's on tape. We're
it's recorded.
Like Turner, I'm so sorry. I apologize so much. I was like, it's just so easy to tweet stuff without knowing someone in real life. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. And he's like meeting Big Brother people are crazy. Like I met so many alum at the premiere party, kooky like characters. Everyone's a character. I feel like Turner is like one of the people that like me and Corey agree is like just like very normal. And you wouldn't, like everyone's just so crazy and loud and and he's so chill and normal, and people don't understand his humor on Twitter. I will say that because they're like, oh, he's stealing tweets again, and I'm like, that's the bit. Like, do you not understand it? It's like trolling. Like that happens on Twitter. It's a thing. They just don't get it.
Next we have
I saw you made a post. You were like, it's so crazy. I was celebrating Joseph's 25th birthday on Twitter, and now I'm popping bottles with him. I just like that is such a cute experience. Like if you're watching from that perspective, it's like you're literally like friends with people that you saw on live feeds on TV. That seems so fun.
I feel so lame because I'm still fangirling. I met Paul and I was fangirling with Paul. I was like, Paul, yours was the first season where I saw the live feeds and I loved watching you and Victor late at night. Y'all are so funny. And he looked at me like, huh? Like, oh, this bitch is crazy. Yeah.
Lord.
Who let her in? And watching the season, she's like, is she a fan? What is going on? I still fangirl. And I saw Chada this last week. Chada's another person that I'm just like,
Queen.
Just Queen. And I'm just like, I was like, you inspire me. Like you are so great. And so like I can't help it. I'm still that fan, and I still feel like so out of place, even though I'm like a part of the community now. I'm still just a fan. It's so crazy.
Child, that sounds so fun. Next we have Makensy. No shade. When it comes to like the game, I don't have many thoughts. She has a power. She's cool with Matt. That's all. Don't think she's a good player. Doesn't do a lot of good things. Kind of doesn't talk to a lot of people at all. A lot of people don't care. It's weird because people don't dislike her. They kind of just don't care. She doesn't come up in their mind. Don't think about her. I feel like she's just so easy to be nom next week. She does have a power, and she'll be easy to nom the week after that. So not a lot of thoughts, and I don't see the promise. I don't see anything. Ooh, I don't feel good at all.
Someone said, meh, Kenzie.
You ate that
Period, Thundercats.
Oh, people are gonna run with that. That's gonna be all over Twitter.
That could be a thing. Meh, Kenzie.
That's tea. Honestly, Makensy is a 2. Damn, I feel bad. I didn't know I was gonna give her a 2. She's a 2. No thoughts, just prayers. America.
That's what I was thinking. Literally 2.
Amen.
Read my mind, because I think she's doing worse than Lisa somehow, worse than Angela somehow. Like, she's so delusional. She thinks she has these numbers, even though she doesn't talk to anybody. I see her outside just asleep on the fucking beanbag chair. And I'm like, just because you're around people doesn't mean they're going to trust you. Like, you actually have to talk to them. And her and Matt are just like 2 dumb bitches telling each other exactly. Like, I don't see how they just don't get it. Like, people aren't talking to them, and you think you're part of this fake it doesn't make sense. I'm going to say 2, because like you said, she's going to be up next week, and if not next week, the week after that, and and I'm so surprised by her. Like, she just seems so level-headed, so serious, so like, I'm ready to play in her preseason interviews, and I think she's not very good. And again, she's like one of the bad recruits where she didn't do her homework, clearly. Like, you have other recruits quoting other seasons, and I think that that's what you should do when you're coming in and you don't know the show. But I don't think she's got a shot. I don't think she stands a chance.
Lee? And preseason, like, I didn't necessarily believe that she had good knowledge of the game, honestly, but it was her personality that I thought was going to be great. She seemed really easygoing. She seemed really chill, and she seemed like she was going to win hella comps. And it seems like the only thing that's true is that she may win hella comps, because everything else is out of the window. Like you said earlier, America, when we turned on the feeds and she's in the bathroom talking to Chelsea, it's like, Angela has to go. And then we find out she's the HOH. It's like, okay, mama, you're crazy.
Literally.
And I do love that a little bit more, because if Matt and MJ were just good at the game and great at competitions and beautiful, it would be pissing me off. So the fact that, she's terrible and going home within the next few weeks, that's fun. I think I am going to give it the 3, only because, honestly, I don't think she's immediately a target. I feel like other people may go before her. And like you said, like, people aren't necessarily thinking about her on that level. Like, once Matt goes, I can see people being like, I mean, man, what you can say.
That's crazy, because she's 6'2". Like, you would think that people would see her as a physical comp beast. So I'm curious. I don't know. That's interesting how people don't like immediately see her as a threat.
Exactly. And then I'm interested to see, like, maybe if she wins a comp, they'll start saying it. But I think that's what's so fun about this season, because you like the AI arena saves the one person each week, at least for the next 4 weeks, I believe. So it's like she could easily just win the AI arena, because I feel like she is going to be a beast in some of these competitions. Hell, she could win the next HOH.
She did. I mean, she won the power. Like,
yes. So I do feel like she's going to win another comp before she get out of here that may protect her. And she has the power that's going to save her for at least one of these weeks. So I'm going to go with the
3. Period. Next we have Matt. America, how you feel about Matt, child?
Oh, Matt. I love a good villain. And I love how he makes it so easy to dislike him. I think that's a great trait to have as a Big Brother player. I'm going to say like a 2 as well. I think him and Makensy are pretty even. It's like, how are you so clueless? I just don't understand how he's backdoored and he still thinks he's safe. He still thinks like Angela's got him, right? Or he's like telling Angela, like, oh, I got the votes. It doesn't matter. It's just so completely unaware. I don't think he's trying to build those individual relationships as he should be. I haven't seen him talk to T-Core or Rubina, or I guess he did talk to T-Core, right? But
he doesn't even trust T-Core.
He talked about T-Core. Yeah. Like, he's just so focused on, his bed buddy that he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah. It's a no for me. It's a 1 for me. The chat is saying it. 1's all on the board. No positive qualities other than the fact that, like they said, he doesn't want to quit. He thinks he's staying. He's probably not. Don't know if he can win the AI arena because he's flopped at all the comps. That was the one thing he could have had in this game. Don't think he's going to do good at it. He's delusional all the way around. He's
Yeah.
low key threatening other people, not Angela though, but he did threaten other people, which was weird. It's enough for me. One, Lee, thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with a lot you're saying. Like, I'm actually so shocked that he's this bad. But honestly, like, I think that's the negative of people who are recruits. It's like when they're bad, they're terrible. And it's like, girl, what are you doing
Yeah.
here? And it's crazy too, because it's like he's had a lot of early conversations about starting alliances, starting certain relationships, and expanding his game. And he himself let all of that go. Like he'll wake up and have all these theories about alliances and groupings, and then he'll go to bed only talking to Makensy and Leah. It's like
Yep.
he does the exact same thing every single day. Like the only thing saving him at this point would be the AI arena, but if he stays one more week, he probably out next week unless they're able to clinch HOH, because this barbershop thing, it is slightly a thing, and it could become solidified if somehow Matt stays this week and then that side wins. But for right now, it was a terrible first week. Like everything he handled was bad, and like he had a little inkling of potentially making it out after the whole Angela blow up, because he was talking. People felt sorry for him a little bit, but that went out the window because he still started talking to people crazy again. It's like he clearly has zero self-awareness. It's like, good lord. So I'm gonna go with the 2 on him.
Yeah. Next
Knowing
we
Big Brother,
have.
knowing
What'd
Big
you say?
Brother, the AI arena is gonna be like a hanging comp, like hang from the
Oh
rope.
Lord! I
America,
was
we have to be
hoping
out of that
I
era.
was hoping
We have
it
to
would be
out.
like the powers comp, the comp for the yes or no to Ainsley, because it's Ainsley Arena. So I'm like, it better be like those comps where all they got to do
Something
is
like
plug
that.
something in.
I'm thinking it's a
Hopefully.
cockadoodle zoom, like superhero
Oh
training,
no.
the second veto.
Oh,
You know,
Lord. America is traumatized. We gonna put
I
positive
hope we're out of
energy.
that era. We need to be out of that era of competitions. Look, if you're gonna make, because my thing is, if you're gonna start the first HOH or shuffleboard, you can't go back from that.
Don't go
Okay.
back to that. Don't. But I feel like they will. Knowing them, you never really know, and that's the issue. We have Quinn next. Lee, how do you feel about Quinn?
Yeah, we kind of said a lot about his game earlier. I think he's doing
Yeah.
really well. He's one of the few people that's in the Pentagon, and he's actively playing both sides. I don't like that he's not in the barbershop. I think that, that really made him take a back seat to what Cam, Cedric, and Chelsie has going on. And I do think that he needs to use that power to low-key break up. Oh, no shade. I wouldn't like it personally, but for his game, he's going to need to take out one of them. And I think it's best to get one of them out pre-jury to weaken them. But right now, it seems like a lot of people like him, and the barbershop is barely even real. So as long as Matt does go and that group doesn't solidify, he's still in a pretty good position. My only issue is just that, he seems to just be spilling too much tea. I don't like that he told Angela about the power. I don't like that he told Kimo necessarily. And I don't like that, Cedric, Cam, and Chelsie have this upper hand over him. Like I want to see, because I can already see his downfall a little bit. He just loses to the structure that can win more comps. But right now it's not really an immediate danger. He's one of the few people in the house that understand the game, and he's actively getting himself protected. And throughout this entire week, no one has said too many like negative things about him, other than some people have mentioned that he may have the power. But as far as like being targeted, I don't think he's in any immediate danger. So I'm gonna go with the 6.5. I do feel like there's still some things that he needs to work on as far as just safe protection later down the line, because I do feel like all of this power talk, him spilling that, and like I said, him not being in the barbershop, that can come back to bite him if he isn't able to kind of bounce back from it.
Honestly, you said everything I felt. I'm also gonna give him the 6.5. So yeah. I already drug him for his thing. I don't want to drug him no more. I had a whole rant about his power. I'm gonna leave him alone. America, how you feeling?
I'll give him a 7. It's tough to come in as the nerd archetype and not be the immediate first boot, or like,
Right.
in the first not set of nominees and be seen as a rat. I think he's got a great social game. I mean, we haven't seen much of his cam talks. They keep cutting the feeds. The feeds
Yes.
suck this year, so I don't really know what's going on in his head. But I feel like he's got an idea of like who is hanging out with who. We'll see. I don't really know what he's thinking strategy wise right now, but I think he's got a good social game. So yeah, and he's good with everybody right now. Again, he's not in that power structure of the big three, but I think he knows that they have something without
Yeah.
him, right? I think he realizes
he
that
do.
something's going on, which is what we're thinking about his power. Like, what is he thinking of doing with his power? I think he would put up a Cam or a Cedric, or
I think so too.
All three of them, real nasty.
all three of them. Yeah, he's got the power. You're right.
Next we have Rubina, which is such an interesting one because it's almost,
I low-key forgot about
I was just gonna say
Womp,
it's
womp.
almost like just a piece of paper just flew in the wind. Just a paper bag.
Because don't get you, Pharaoh. You gotta stop.
Because I do like Rubina, but when it comes to the game, my immediate thought is a 5 because of how much of a blank slate she is. She could get in the line, she could not. She could work with somebody, she could not. She could end up playing the game, she could not. I genuinely don't know. My issue, which is bringing her down to a 4.5, which is what I'm gonna give her.
Ooh, 0.5.
Yeah, is the fact that nothing is nothing. There's literally nothing. She hasn't done anything active. She hasn't made an ally. She hasn't made a bond. I don't even know who likes her. I don't know who she likes. Nothing. She hasn't done anything. It's really just been.
She's made bonds.
With who?
She has a relationship with Mag. I know she has a relationship with T-Core. I know she has a relationship with Lisa, Brooklyn, a lot of the girls.
You know what?
Different feeds.
You know what? I agree. I feel like it's.
Look, I'm trying, Rubina.
I feel like the relationships she has are like relationships, as in we're roommates. Like the actual, like to say T-Core and Kimo, that's a real relationship. Leah and Quinn, they're actually building a bond. Cam and Cedric, they're actually. She's the only one in the game who does not have any rapport. There's no, and honestly, Joseph low key too, with like other, well, even him and Angela had the thing. She's the only one. I'm like, girl, who? So it's just gonna be a 4.5 just because I don't want to give her the 5 because you're not doing that. Anybody? America, how you feel?
Yeah, I'll say a 5. I'll be a little nicer. I loved Rubina in her preseason interviews. I was really hoping that she'd come in and she'd be like a firecracker, but I think it's beneficial to her game to maybe, just step back a little bit, build those social connections a little bit more before she jumps onto anything. But yeah, I need her to talk more game. I need her to realize, again, she's also a recruit, so she probably doesn't realize that like this game is already going on around her. But I need her to find like her person to strategize with, or she could win a competition next week and that could change everything. In terms of people actually considering her as a competitor and as a game player, not just a number. But she's not giving much right now. I'm so sorry, Rubina. I really wanted to like her, but she's not. I forget she's there.
Yeah. And she does have a relationship with Tucker. They are saying that in the chat. Her and Tucker are cool.
No, they're flirting. I know people are shipping them, but I don't know how much Tucker actually considers her as like a
allegiance.
Yeah,
exactly.
Y'all have to take everything Tucker doing with a grain of salt. I don't know if y'all know this, but that man is doing whatever the fuck he wants.
No, literally though.
So I wouldn't take that too much stake into that. But
Lisa's counterpart.
They're friends. That's the thing. It's like I said, all of her, they're friends at most. They're not allies. They're not a final two. They're not working in the same alliance.
She's not a fan, and that's the issue. Like, she's in a great position. She could be one of the best positions in the game, but she is not an active player because she's not a fan. So regardless of how good the position may seem, which barely because she's not in all of the alliances, but it's not going to go too much places because she doesn't know what activeness is needed to, I think, move forward. Like, she doesn't seem to be aware that she needs to be solidifying things. She doesn't seem to be aware that she needs to start thinking about like end goals because she's just simply not a fan. She really is just there for, I think, the good time of it all. I do like that she's more involved. I thought she was going to be maybe ostracized going into preseason because she wasn't a fan and she just seemed like someone who would just be in that archetype of someone not fitting in, but she is seeming to fitting in a lot. And I don't think that she's going anywhere anytime soon. However, it's just, I fear we may already be seeing the cap for Rubina. And I hate to say that, but it's just like when you don't understand the game, and in this season, there's so many things happening, you can get lost in the sauce. But in general, I do like that she still is a very calm, cool, collected person, and people do like her. And being liked really is enough. I mean, she could be liked all the way to jury in top 5 and win the next few vetoes and HOHs, So I don't think that she's in any immediate danger. So I'm gonna go with the 5 as well. I need to see more for Rubina. I want to see her creating strategy. I want to see her making alliances, not just being included. I want to see her thinking about who I want to be in the end game with. She seems to be on the right page of things, because I know she's had a conversation this week about Matt going home and how she low-key, he can go and she probably going to vote him out while also still working with Matt and having a relationship with him. So she's shown that she can play. It's just, it seems like the game has to come to her and she's not going to it. I don't like that.
Period. Sister, we have T-Core next. America, this is your girl.
Oh, my girlie. She's one of my preseason faves, and I'm rooting for her so hard. She seems so sweet. I'm going to say 5.5. I'll rate her a little bit higher than, Rubina and Joseph, just because you can tell she wants to be a part of something, and she's trying, and she's talking to people. I'm like, they're just not giving her anything back, and it's so frustrating, especially with Kimo, who's like, allegedly her number one, him not giving her anything and like being distrustful of her. I'm like, you need to open up to her. Like, people just need to open up to her, because I feel like she is giving people like genuine, like her genuine game plan. She's talking to Chelsie last night and she's like, what's going on? Like, people are telling me that Matt's staying. Is that true? Like, she's being real with people, and I think they need to be real with her, but she is really trying to play. I think she is kind of being viewed as just a number right now, which sucks, but it's tough. She's in a tough position. I feel like she maybe didn't start like talking game those first few days, and so people didn't really, see her as a game player. But I really hope she makes more connections, Celeste. I'm rooting for her regardless. I love her. She is so sweet. She's so kind.
No,
Lee, how you feel? This your girl too?
Same. I love her so much. I was scared for her preseason because I felt that she would be that type of player where she's not necessarily included. But what I like about T-Core is that a lot of times those kind of players, they do the Kimo, no shade, or even the Rubina, no shade, where it's like very inactive gameplay. Whereas T-Core, she realizes that she's not necessarily on the end, and she's trying to make sure she's in the end. Over these last few days, she has been actively speaking individually with a lot of people, including MJ and Matt. She found out that Matt was throwing her name out there, and she had an individual conversation with Matt and asked him, how can I be less expendable in this game? How can people see me as a real ally and things like that? She went to Makensy and said, I am loyal to you. I want to work with you. She made a relationship with Lisa. She has a relationship with Chelsie. She made a deal with Cedric as well, and she is included in this collective group. This is a girl where I think that she has a lot of odds stacked against her, but she's not letting that discourage her, and she's staying involved in the game, and I really appreciate that for her. It does suck because I feel like, to almost no fault of her own, is more so just people feeling this way about her. She could go home early. She could be an early pawn, but I'm praying for her. She's one of those people I'm like, every single week, get my sister to jury. Get my sister to jury. And y'all can do what the fuck y'all want, but get my girl to jury, okay? I just like what she's doing. I like that even though she's so underestimated and she is seen as this kind of throwaway player, she isn't allowing that. It's similar to like the Taylor Hale energy in a way of like, y'all may not want to work with me, but I'm going to still talk to you. I'm going to still play this game with you. I'm going to still try to create an alliance with you. And I really do love that, because if you continue to do that, it becomes reality at some point. If you play like you're an active player, that just becomes the game. And I think that she has enough connections to where once this barbershop alliance group, whatever the fuck, is disbanded and broken up, she'll be in a good spot, because the people running the game, I think, see T-Core as an ally. Like Cedric, Kim, and Chelsie, I think will use T-Core for the time being for a while. So that's my girl. I'm gonna go with the 5.5 too.
I agree with a lot y'all said. I'm gonna give T-Core the 5. I really like her. Well, let me tell you why. Mostly because of the situation of her not really being included. Everyone in the house knew she was gonna be potentially a renom if she would have just walked up to Angela, and she didn't know. She was the last person to find out because no one was loyal enough to go to her about it. So it's like, that's just the indicator that it's like, ooh, she's really, I feel like, more on the outs than even I thought. I kind of thought she would have gotten told, and she didn't. So I was like, ooh, you really are on the outs. But all the work she did to get on the end, I think it's so good. And I do think the Pentagon, if they have to choose, like let's say one of them win HOH and they have to decide on a group, I think because of T-Core, they will prefer the collective. I think T-Core is the reason that they're going to be drawn towards that side. Not Kimo. They don't give a fuck. Not Angela. It will be T-Core. And it's like, because of that, her gameplay is clearly very, very good. I definitely see her going up and up from here. I just feel like this week it was a little rocky. She wasn't really included in a lot of stuff, and people don't respect her. And I feel like if a barbershop wins, she can be an easy nom. Very easy nom. They've already talked about her being pawned this week. Matt and Makensy and them, I feel like they don't really, I don't think, even though she had those combos, they would see anyone else as a potential nom, because they have a whole fake alliance that they think is real because they're dumb. And then a lot of the people out of it, it's like they have to put up 3. They don't have many options. I think she could be nommed soon. So that's my only other fear. So it'll be the 5. Next, no shade. He has lots of fans. I'm not one of them. Tucker is a big fat no for me. I hated Zach Rants. I hate Tucker. He's fucking annoying as fuck, talking shit about people all day. It can be cute sometimes, and then sometimes it's like, you're not doing shit either. He was talking shit about T-Core one of those days. I'm like, hold the fuck on, because who are you working with, babe? You're the one not in any alliance. Do I need to bring the image back up? Actually, right there with the Nom and Lisa.
Mr. Anderson?
Yeah.
Oh, please. This non-existent alliance. But no, I will say, when it comes to the game, unfortunately, I do think Tucker can actually. Oh, you know what? I didn't really connect in my head until just now. I feel like Tucker is like kind of doing the Leah, where it's like 1-on-1. You and me got a final 2. Yeah. Leah has a bunch of final 2s randomly. Yep. And then, or just like deals, or us 2 were to the end. And Tucker kind of has that same thing on his end. And he's doing a lot of, we should be final 2. You and me should do this. And then now he's kind of expanding that to, let's make a alliance, a 4-person alliance with the have-nots. So I do think he can learn a little bit more. When I picked him for my draft, I was like, he seemed like someone who's not gonna know shit, and then he could pick it up. And I can see him maybe picking it up. But honestly, I'm not a big fan of his game. I don't necessarily think it's gonna be tremendous and take him to the win. I think it can take him far, though. And I do think what he's doing is good enough, especially because socially, I think he's well liked. He doesn't like a lot of people, but all of them love him. So that's really, really good for his game as well. Even though he's not in any of these groupings, it kind of doesn't matter for him. And we kind of see that with players of his archetype. You know, it's almost like, if you're just liked, we don't really care. Like Enzo wasn't even in that alliance in BB22. What was it called? The clan mini. He wasn't even in that alliance. But he made final 2, and none of them batted an eye about it. They didn't even give a fuck.
Girl, I honestly forgot that he wasn't in it.
Exactly. They just pretended he was.
I thought he was in.
Literally. And I can see that with Tucker. It's like, it's okay. It's just Tucker. So I definitely do see a path, unfortunately, because he's not my fave. But I think his game is fine. I think he's doing fine. I think a lot of people like him, and I think he's being active enough. So I'm going to have to give him something. Damn, what am I going to give him? I'm going to give him 5.5.
Yeah.
Lee.
Yeah, I think Tucker's really interesting. I think it's gonna be one or two ways. Because no shade, Tucker's a little delusional, a little bit. Like, and I think that's gonna be his downfall slightly, because he made a final 2 with Joseph. I know he made a final 2 with Angela, but I don't know who he was talking to, but he said, "Oh, I have Joseph in my back pocket. I got Joseph. He's good." And the way he kind of talks about Angela and talks to Angela, it seems like he feels like he has Angela. He can just tell her what to do. Like this whole Matt thing of like, you got to put up Matt. He has to go home. Is because he felt like, I can tell Angela what to do and she's going to do it. And then even same with this whole have not group. It's like he's trying to wield this to happen because he wants it to happen, which is great, make an alliance. But I don't think he cares or realizes what those other people in the group have connections to. Like he's so not self-centered, but maybe no shade. But he's so tunnel vision on what he wants to do. I don't think he's worried about anyone else. However, I think that they may it could help him. It could have the reverse effect of helping him. Like if he continues to try and do his own thing and he continues to get what he wants. Like this week, Matt goes home. Tucker can kind of say that was his move a little bit because he was the main one pushing to Angela when no one else wanted to because they were so scared. He was the main one pushing to Angela that Matt has to go up, not T-Corp. Matt has to go up. He has to go home. So it's like I can see him being a player that continues to do things like that, but I can also see him continue to do things like that, and then it's going to catch up to him because he's not in the Pentagon, he's not in the collective, he's not in the barbershop, and that's because he himself chose to
Mr.
say, I don't
Anderson.
want to work with anyone. But I'm saying in those early days, he was telling people, I don't want to be in any alliance. And people didn't include him in any alliances. And that was so dumb on his part because he wanted to start working with people and he's trying to create his own thing. But it's like, stuff has already started. So I agree with you. I think he's going to go far. It's just, I think he's a little bit, like I said, a little delusional, slightly delusional, slightly self-centered because you have to pay attention to what else is happening around you. He doesn't seem self-aware at all. Like if he becomes a target, he probably won't know it. He doesn't understand the collective of the thing, Pentagon, the bar. Like he doesn't understand anything else that's happening. He's only thinking about, I think, what he himself wants, and that may help, but I think it'll hurt him more. So I'll just stay with the 5.
America, how you feeling?
I was gonna say a 5 too. He's a certified hater, and it's hee hee ha ha right now because it's first week and we want something going on in the feeds. But what about when it's week 7 and Lisa's been out since week 2 and he's still shitting on her? It's not going to be so funny then. I just feel like right now, it's also like he's hating on the right people. What about when he runs out of people to hate? Like he's going to start hating on our faves for no reason. It also seems like it's like just any small thing he'll jump on it and start like shitting on them. Like all of a sudden he started shitting on Matt. It was Lisa. Now it's Lisa and Matt, and now it's Lisa and Matt and Kenney. And he just keeps adding people onto the list. He doesn't really have a game plan. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it. He does have good, like a good social game where he's like friends with everybody and he has stories and he's a good impersonator. But other than that, people don't really see him. I mean, other than like Angela, I guess. But even then, she doesn't trust him. She told us this morning, like, I don't trust that guy.
She did say that.
So it's got to be a 5 for me. I think he's doing worse than I think Tikor's pretty self-aware in a way that he isn't, and I think Leah's doing a lot better in the one-on-ones and then the social aspect than he is. So it's got to be a 5.
You spilling?
Yeah, and
let's give it a 5. Let's go all 5 because you spilling.
I think that's definitely what's it's gonna catch up to him. The game he's playing, it definitely is, and it's like it's cute to be that TV is villain or whatever.
He's a character.
He's a character, and that's what it is. It's just it's gonna. I never saw it for Tucker, so that's why I'm happy the girls are on the same train. Pre-season, I was like, Tucker ain't doing it for me, mama. But I'm happy to see that other people are kind of waking up to it a little bit because I think it's funny now, but it's not gonna always be funny.
Okay, hold on. I got to make one more change. Let me give my man a 6.5 real quick.
Ooh.
Girl, you're
not Kenney.
I'm kidding. I thought you were going to say.
Hold on. Wait, what? Wait, everybody. Wait, who did y'all think I was talking about? My man Cedric. Let me be clear.
From a what? 6.5 from a what?
He was a 6. It was a 6.
Like he did not, like girl. He just wanted to move Cedric above Brooklyn.
No, honestly, when we were doing him initially, I was trying to heavily correct my bias. So I was like, let me not be biased. But when y'all gave him a 7, I was like, okay, I can bring him a 6.5. Okay, but anyways, boom.
He's good.
So now we have them in order. I arranged them highest to lowest. Let's start at the bottom. At the bottom, we have Flop Kenney, of course. Then we have his best friend Matt and Makensy next. All 3 of them, the lowest rated ones. Makes very much so sense. We ate that up. Then we have Lisa and Angela. We ate that up too. Then we have Kimo, Rubina, Tucker, Joseph. And then Tikor, Leah. And then we have our top 5, which is literally the Pentagon. And it goes Quinn, Brooklyn, Cedric, Cam, and then Chelsie at the top. We ate this real bad.
That makes sense.
It does. God. I love this.
Oh,
we ate this up.
For a second there, I was like, we forgot to do Kenney, and then I remembered.
So yes, anyway, he'll only be getting a 1, if anything.
Literally, he wouldn't move. Trust. So yeah, this is your little list. Let us know in the comments how you feel about the ratings, how you feel about the players currently, who you like, who you don't like, whatever y'all want to do. Blah 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 blah. Boom, America. Thank you so much for being with us here. I know we had to get through a lot, but it was the first week. A lot was going on. So I love that you came and joined us.
Thank you. But I've missed 2.5 hours of live feeds. Now I got to go back.
I know. Street said they were off the whole time, allegedly. Damn near.
Damn near. Yeah. They said it's been off like an hour or so.
Did someone self-evict? Is there?
Girl, I don't know.
Well, no,
because they were off earlier today.
I ain't heard any news. They said all feeds came back to them just in the kitchen doing nothing. feeds have been stupid this week. This season so far.
Today they've been really boring today. The feeds.
Girl, yes. I was like,
Yeah.
hello. Are y'all? Did they tell y'all not to do anything? But yeah. So boom. It was great having you. Thank you so much. Do you want to let the girls know where to find you, what to do with you, all of that?
Of course. So I am on Twitter and Instagram, of course. ADog956. Me and Corey have a Patreon where we have our little podcast. We just finished one today, and we're talking about BB26, and we're talking about the premiere party that we just went to. It's patreon.com/AmeriCorey. I also have a book club on the Patreon. So we just started that last week. If you want to be a part of that. But yeah, that's it. You can find me in Nashville. You can find me line dancing in Nashville if anybody wants to come out.
What book y'all be reading? I love books. Books are fun.
I'm reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Have you heard of it? It's a fantasy novel.
I've heard
it is really
I gotta get into fantasy.
It's my first fantasy book, but it's like she is cursed. She's this French woman born in the 1700s, and she makes this deal with this like god, and it backfires. And she's cursed so that she's immortal, but anybody that she meets forgets her.
Oh, that's sick in a bad way.
Yeah, she's got to,
Child, get into the book club. Subscribe to the Patreon.
Yes.
Period. All right. And you guys can find us here at The Reality Kingdom on YouTube. We're on all of your podcast networks, whatever you want to get into with that. And on Twitter at T Reality Kingdom, and all social medias at T Reality Kingdom. So definitely get into all of our content. We're going to be covering Big Brother 26 all season. Every Tuesday, we're going to be doing what we just did now. Every Thursday, we're going to be recapping the live eviction and talking about who got evicted or whatever. So definitely get into it. We have other shows as well. Check it out. And thank you guys for keeping it real with the kingdom. And we're out. Bye.
Bye.